Hello everyone! Welcome to Monday night's episode, another absolutely thrilling episode of all things pressure washing and exterior cleaning related. Where would you rather be? How's it going? Monday the 30th. What month are we in? June? I think we're in June. Welcome everyone. Look at you all. We've got the new chat, look, displaying on the screen down there. Look at you all. Hello, sausage. Can I make you a bit bigger? Oh, you disappear quite quick, don't you? Oh. Yeah. Okay, I guess we need it there. Okay, fine. That's fine. Elgin. Not seen your name in the chat before. Welcome. How's it going? Hello, Daz. You're right, matey. Turn that down a little bit. Oh, God. I'm going to be the first to say it. Too hot, innit? Who's too hot? Should do a little vote. Christ in heaven almighty. It's too much. It's almost too much. Other people thrive in this weather. I just can't do it. Can he do it? Has everyone been working today, or have you taken the day off like a little Nancy because of the heat? I've been spraying Jakey down with the pressure washer and all sorts. We don't care. We get soggy with it. Live. Where can I find the chat? Don't know how to get to the chat. I am not late, for Christ's sake. I am not. In 10 seconds, coming in swinging is member after the Facebook post, go on Big Dog. That short was quality, calling out all the shit talk in the comments. People hated that video. People hated it. Like, let me finish. That's what she said. Let me finish, for Christ's sake. I was sealing a limestone patio. And I was going in thick. I was putting it on pretty thick. But we like it thick. And people were just so judgmental and nasty to me. But that's what you get for being a famous influencer. Ultra famous I am. Millions of views constantly. People can't stop talking shit about me. That's when you know you're doing something right, innit? People stealing all my content constantly. Who cares? I don't care. You guys need to be careful out there at the minute with the ceiling. I know a lot of you are trying to do a lot of ceiling work and repointing and stuff. You need to be careful, man. It's too hot. I wouldn't even bother. I wouldn't even bother. I would put it off for another day. Reschedule it for next week, although this weekend's going to be really hot as well. Right, everyone vote. Welcome everyone. Good evening. Melting, Lee, I know. I'm literally physically sweating. It's coming out of all orifices. It's gross. Swamp ass syndrome. Cedars, welcome, Anthony. Jed. Lindsay. Crystal. Crystal, you're not the same Crystal Clean that's stealing all my videos, are you? Am I joking? Dominic. Everyone settle down. Get yourself a nice iced coffee. A pint of iced... What is that? What am I chewing on? Settle down for the evening. It's another exciting episode. We've got loads to talk about. It's absolutely popping off in the exterior cleaning industry. And this is where the conversation's at. This is the epicenter. I'm missing the rain. I would rather be too cold than too hot, 100%. At least you can warm up when you're too cold, but when you're too hot, you just have to sit there and melt. And you don't know whether it's like, do I open the window? Or am I just going to be letting hot air in? Like, we've closed all the blinds and all the curtains and stuff. And the house was nice and cool when I got home today, but then as soon as I walked in and let the dog out, all the hot air comes into the house and it's just like bacon again. So, hello Negan, Poppets, welcome. Terry. Picking up my first van on Sunday, nice. What van have you gone for? It's even too hot for the shorts crew. I was considering, I've got some new boxer shorts and they're like, they're not trunks, they're like shorts, they look like just shorts. And I was considering just pressure washing in my boxers earlier, but Jake got his boobs out earlier. He was going for it, he didn't care. Can't really blame him in this heat. The girls love it. Looking forward to a good show tonight. Done my biggest job, 104 square meter driveway. Had to stop 12-ish. Had to stop at about 12-ish. Got too hot, going back tomorrow. Steve. Nice, mate. Awesome, that's a big job. I think I did on last week when I was on my own, because Jakey was on holiday. Thank God he's back. I did 108 square meters. And I reckon I got it done in about 3 hours. But because we weren't splitting the water pressure in half, I didn't have to stop once. I had about 18 litres per minute from the tap. And it was great. Normally we stop in like when you get about 15 to 18 litres per minute, we've got to stop at least once halfway through. 58% of you are dying. 20% are enjoying the heat, 12% of you say it's not hot enough, and 7% of you say that you're working in an office with aircon. Look, we made this choice to go self-employed. We've got to put up with rain or sun. It's our own fault, isn't it? But where would you rather be? Right, let's get into it, shall we? Invest in a shark fan. What's a shark fan? What is a shark fan? Oh, is it like the shark vacuum? One of these baddies. 170 quid for a fan. Don't know about that, mate. Not sure about that. Sanded 5 driveways and cleaned a 70 metre square block paved driveway today. On your own? 5 driveways?
Oh my god.
Is it hotter in here than it is out there? Ah.
I think you might be better opening the windows now. It's cooler out there. It's a bit windy.
Is it?
Yeah.
There's a fan in the hallway. But you guys are just gonna hear fan constantly. It's not gonna work, is it?
Also, you left the back gate open.
What gate?
The back gate.
The side gate?
Yeah.
How did you know that?
I just went out, picked up my parcel from behind the bin.
God, that's lucky.
Yep. Things happen for a reason, eh?
It's in reference to the dog. If the dog got out that side gate, she'd probably go and cause some trouble. Definitely cause some trouble. Life of Malone, welcome. Fell asleep in the sun, nice. The limestone paving I did last week still has black spot even after steaming. You could try Biocide on it. Biocide should probably... You're going to need to give it a... Love you. You're going to need to give it a month or two for it to start to fade those black spots, but it will eventually work. You don't often see black spots, on like bad black spots on limestone. All the limestone that I've cleaned has already been sort of... It's been not too bad. It's not been crazy. I'm going to the Moja demo day tomorrow. Has anyone from here booked onto that demo day? How long do you stream for? However long I fancy. It's normally about 2 hours, 3 hours. What was the name of the tap adapter that you put on the 25 litre tub so it doesn't glug? I haven't got one of them. But you can just turn the tub sideways. Instead of pouring it out forwards, pour it out sideways so it gets more air. Not sure, mate. Been doing a roof today and it was brutal. Ugh. Oh, I wouldn't be doing a roof. Wouldn't catch me on a roof today. No chance. No chance. No thank you. Jake, your first like of the night. Oh, thank you, mate. Very kind of you. Been working in construction with my brother in Yorkshire, but I've remembered why I'm trying to get this business going. Would have killed for a cold pressure wash today. And when you've got like a full buffer tank as well, like a wheelie bin buffer tank, and you can just dunk your head in it, it's lovely. It really is. This is what I've been doing to Jakey today. It's nothing weird, I promise. Have a little sticky beak at this. Oh my god, it's hot, isn't it? Play. Play. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I sound like that Jeff Bezos laugh where he's like, I sound like really excited about it. I sound like a nutter. He loved that. He said don't get my shorts wet, but I think I forgot as soon as I pulled the trigger. He also sent me this video from when oh god. He sent me this video from when he was on holiday, which I thought was absolute gold. Hang on. I'm sorry for anyone who's already seen this today, but I can't not share it with you. He goes, it's off some film I think, but he goes, class is in session.
Class is in session.
I really hope you fall.
Class is in session.
I really hope you fall.
It's too good. It's everything about it is just perfect. What he says, and then her saying, "I really hope you fall," and then just perfect timing. It snaps and he hits the ground, and then it's his girlfriend's voice. She's like, "Oh, it's so good." That made me laugh so hard. Absolutely brilliant. Oh man. Yeah, on the Nexus website, I don't know how many people watch this regularly. I might have said this before, but they've put this weather warning on their website because I guess a lot of contractors are getting caught out in the heat. We did a while back when we was in Wales. We got a little bit. It was towards the end. It was getting to like midday-ish, and it was towards the end of the installation. It's like we were applying the jointing compound, and it started to get real hot, and the surface of the slab started to go like quite sticky, and it was like I couldn't get it off. Like there were about 3 slabs towards the end where there was just some residue of like the jointing compound on top of the face of the slab, and I don't know what you can do. Does anyone know what you can do about epoxy when it's set? I think I read that you can do like rubbing alcohol, like isopropyl alcohol, is it? And that can help to get it off. But we tried pressure washing the face of the slab, and that didn't come off either. And it's a bit scary. Elon Mars, do you think life is fair? I think you're in the wrong stream, mate. Wojtek, welcome. Yeah, it would be hotter on a roof, wouldn't it? Because it's higher up. I've accidentally on purpose fell in paddling pools today. Even the Nexus Titan was going off really quick. Yeah, I think as well, like, if anyone's got any sealing and stuff to do. And also ground temperatures are going to be different to air temperatures, so you've got to be careful of that. I've got this little, is it a Draper from Toolstation? This little Draper like temperature gun, and it's a massive difference, ground temperatures, especially in the sun. Like you can get an area, I know it sounds obvious, but it's like crazy the difference. You can get an area where one bit's in the shade and one bit's in the sun, literally a meter away from each other, and there's like 5 degrees difference in the temperature, which I think's pretty nutty. And if you're sealing, like anything above about 22 degrees, and you're really risking it, you're pushing it really, especially with like xylene based sealers. They can flash dry and bubble and turn white and all sorts. That's my biggest fear now. It's not moisture when it comes to sealing, it's actually flash drying. Direct sunlight is always an issue, and just general ground temperatures. So be careful out there. That's the name of the stream. Be careful. That's today's. Don't be scared to just like put it off for a while and just let your customer know, I'm not risking it in this heat. It's too much. Anyone joining you today? Not today. No, I'm. It's not going to be a late one today because I'm doing the Moja thing tomorrow. I just want to have not a crazy late night. What's going on here? I knew this chat thing was a bad idea. There's a reason I haven't done it before this. Can someone ban that little chatbot thing? Matt, are you around, mate? Had to seal a tarmac drive this morning at 7:30 AM. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Get it in early, definitely. Justin recommended a product on Discord. Found a guy selling Nexus for 61 quid. I think, how much is CleanLink doing it for? I think CleanLink started doing it. Titan? Oh yeah, look, they are. Ultra high strength epoxy. The basalt is cheaper than the neutral. Is that plus VAT? Shipping charges $6.95 plus VAT. I'm guessing that's plus VAT, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, that's the way to do it. Get the ceiling jobs in early, man. What's up, Jack? Be careful out there. What's up, Nick? Welcome. We've got all the funny boys in today, haven't we? New chat thing. There was a new chat thing, but then people have been silly, aren't they? Someone get rid of Sammy, please. I have some stuff from Pure Steel that removes epoxy. We'll check what it is. Oh, that's interesting. Guys, I've got my screencast working for my app. Epoxy. Nothing found. Is there like a section for stain removal? Sealers, specialist treatments. John, thank you for becoming a member. Welcome, mate. Crystal clean windows as well. Thank you guys so much. Very kind of you. Welcome to the club. I used to live in Brum. Don't miss the accent. Oh, thanks, mate. Congratulations to myself for the YouTube win. Still waiting for the foot pick. If you're in the Discord, you know how much I charge for that job. Let me see if I can pull the let me see if I can pull the app up, because I've got a new software now which will hopefully show it on stream wirelessly, completely wirelessly. Make sure I put do not disturb on my phone, and then all we have to do, he says, should we see if we can do. It's so nice having Jakey back. I've been on my own for the whole week and it's just been a little bit lonely. I mean, I can manage on my own. I can handle myself. It's just been a bit lonely, you know. Thank you guys for becoming members. Very cool of you. Very cool. Welcome to the Discord. Where's all these weirdos come from tonight? We've got all of them. There we go. Evening, Alex. Welcome, matey. Upsell is not on Apple at the minute. It's just on... it's only on Android at the moment. Still kind of early access. We've got it to the point where it's like usable and good, and it's doing everything we want it to do, which is cool. Just updating to the latest patch. Let's have a look. Can I cast to my screen? Cast. Your course name should be Stick, Seal, Reveal. Good idea. That's a very good idea. Thank you so much for the donation, you cutie. Very kind of you. Everyone's been so generous lately. It's quite surreal. move that over there. And then I think we can just... Yeah! Look at that! Is it working? I think that's working, isn't it? Oh yeah! I paid 20 quid for this app so that I could do this. It should automatically work on Android, but it doesn't on the Google Pixel 9 Pro for some reason. Mac Landscapes. Oh yeah, I've seen that guy. He's on Instagram. He uses it a lot, doesn't he? Basically online begging at this point. I thought better of you and your company. Okay, Mary. Cheers, Mary. Thanks for the input. Do. Just started my pressure washing business at 18. What's the best way to try and get my first few jobs? Nice, Rory. Well done, mate. I would say my strategy is always do stuff for friends and family first, and set up your social media pages, your Instagram and your Facebook. Do stuff for friends and family and take pictures of everything that you're doing. Treat every job as like content potential, and just take loads of pictures, loads of good before and after pictures, and start uploading it to your social media pages. It's the way to go. For those of you that aren't like pushing social media at the minute, for those of you that are quiet and you're wondering what else you could be doing, and if you're not taking advantage of social media at the moment, you're missing a huge opportunity. And it's like a free opportunity. Yes, it costs a bit of time, but it's just like so... It's like 2025, man. You got to start posting, ideally daily. If it's not like direct content, if it's not photos or videos or whatever, at least put a story up or something that keeps people engaged and locked in. And try and make it personable as well. Try not to just do like the generic business advertisey stuff, because people don't want to be advertised to. Ideally, people would want to follow an account or a person and sort of engage with a person rather than a business, you know what I'm saying? So let's see if the new update's working. So this is my new app called Upsell, which I've designed, and I'm working with an extremely talented app developer. He's a Kotlin developer, so everything's been programmed in Kotlin. And I've essentially I've drawn stuff out, I've designed things, I've just sent him a list of stuff that I want this app to be able to do. And gradually, week by week, we're sort of slowly getting there, and it's like, it's incredible how he's sort of taken something that I had in my head and turned it into something that I've got on my phone, you know what I mean? And it's working beautifully. He says it's working beautifully. I've just updated it, and so hopefully it fixed the bug that I was having yesterday where I couldn't save quotes. So this is the screen that you... Let me just check something. Yeah, that's fine. So this is the screen that you'll be presented with when you open the app. And this is your price list. Thanks, Malone. Thanks very much, mate. Okay. I think we need some moderation in the chat tonight, because someone's got it in for me for some reason. I think maybe the title of the live stream is pulling in these people. You reckon? I don't know how a title could change the. I don't know. Do you still use a ball joint? Do you mean a ball valve? No, I don't. No. The ball valve, I kept blowing O-rings in the ball valve, and then gradually it sort of got stiffer and stiffer to use, and so I just stopped. I just took it off, and at the point where I could actually switch from a ball valve to not using it at all was the point where I got my ST2600 trigger from Darren at PWS, and then you just don't need a ball valve anymore, and it's a much better system, 10 times better. No worries, Matt. No, you don't. You're not obliged to moderate the chat. Don't worry about it. What do you think of using Sicker Fast Fix? It's a product. It does the job. I don't have much experience with Sicker products. It's the same stuff. It's the cheap stuff they sell in Wix, isn't it? It's the same stuff I was using before. I've used it a couple of times and it's fine, but you can't expect it to last. I would suggest when you're explaining it to the customer, I would personally suggest saying this product is a decorative product. It's got no it will offer no structural integrity to the patio whatsoever, and it's designed to last between 2 and 4 years depending on how well it's installed. So you just got to sort of set their expectations. They shouldn't just say don't pressure wash it because you're going to reduce the lifespan. They all say that they're pressure washer resistant and stuff. They're not. You could soft wash it, you could apply it, and to maintain it at that point 12 months later you could say I can come back and just do a chemical soft wash, so we don't have to keep pressure washing it every year. Mr. Graff, hello mate, something cool for you. I started my own business off the back of watching you, and I've just hit my first 5k month, 10 months in. Done more for me than you could imagine. Oh mate, that is very cool. I've not seen your name in the chat before either, so is this your first live stream attendance? That's very cool to know. What a success story, mate. That's awesome. Brilliant. Very happy for you. Wet the drive after sanding for the after pics. Thanks, Trainer Exterior Cleaning. Yeah, good idea. Make those colours pop. Do you wet the sand? Oh, I have done. Sometimes it's just not convenient, is it? It's up to you. Like, you could either have like a brighter, if you've got like a really dark, dirty drive, and then you go back and resand it, and it's all nice and bright and dry. It's like a massive transformation. Or you can wet the drive after it's been resanded and make those colours really pop. Never commented on anything, but been watching since you had 1k subs. Quit my job and went full time, and here we are. So thank you for being an inspiration. Oh mate, that's very kind of you to say. That's awesome. It's hard work in it, but like it's so doable. I can't believe I stayed in like retail and stuff for so long. It's mad. Knowing how it's not easy, but knowing how doable it was. When I just set my mind to one thing, it just did it for 12 months. Any chance you could do a video on how much coverage you get on your sands and sealers? I could do a video. Yeah, I could do a video. I could. Yeah. Generally sand, kiln dried sand, the 20 kilogram bags. You're probably looking at around about 15 to 20 square meters per bag. 15's on like the low end. Normally more towards 20, maybe 25. But I'd say 15 just to be on the safe side to make sure you got enough. And then sealers, when you're spraying them, clear sealers, like depending on the viscosity of it, it's normally around 3 to 4 meters squared per litre for the first coat, and then more like 5 to 6 for the second coat, depending on how thick you're going in with it. But all sealers are different. Like for the tarmac sealer, for example, you'd be looking at 2.5 square meters per litre for the first coat, and maybe 4 for the second. And again, it depends how you're applying it. We're starting to pour the tarmac sealer on now, so it's a little bit different. We use a little bit more. I did 10 years in hospitality before I quit. Nice. Yeah, it's It makes you wonder what took you so long, doesn't it, sometimes? No worries, Mark. Just joined the Discord wondering where I access the before and after photos. John, you need to link your account, mate. There's a tutorial section. If you look, new members area, connection help, or sorry, connect your YouTube. This will explain how you connect your YouTube, and then it will give you access to the rest of the Discord. And then the boosted images are in this one just down here. There you go, mate. That's it. Just takes you to take the plunge and give it your full attention. That's it, mate. I mean, it's not... I wouldn't say take the plunge, because I never took a plunge. I just sort of started consistently doing something on the side. I'm very hesitant to advise people just to go all in on something. You can give something your consistent, continuous focus for 12 months without giving everything else up. You know what I mean? I'd recommend that people, you know, still stay in your job. Keep, yeah, especially if you've got commitments, family, mortgage, you need to make sure you've got a stable income. A lot of people do that thing where they'll buy loads of equipment and the phone, that they're expecting the phone just to start ringing just because they bought loads of equipment. It just doesn't happen. Any recommendations for van tidying hooks? I was going to talk about this today. I've got a wish list of stuff that I need, and that's on the wish list. Actually, I need some more stuff from ProGrip. I need to kit out my van again. If you type in ProGrip UK, I think one of my pictures is on this website actually. Let's look at gutter poles. Yeah, there's mine. Look. So some of these, because I got some of the early ones, some of these are snapped, and I also need holders for things like my brooms and lances. I've got another water-fed pole. There's just bits. There's just more bits that I've got, and I sort of need to just sit down and like take a note of everything, because I need to sort of measure everything as well and make sure I'm getting the right stuff. So yeah, I'd recommend having a look on ProGrip UK, because they've got all sorts. They've got like lance holders, holders for your flat surface cleaners. These ones are like the flexi grip ones. Brush holders for your gardener brushes. That's a good idea, isn't it? Slide triggers for your water-fed poles for your roof cleaning stuff. Worth having a look. Worth having a look. Oh. Do you still have to squeeze the trigger when starting your machine with the ST2600? Only reason I really use the ball valve still is when working far away from the van. You could also just get a pressure release valve fitted, like an easy start valve. So it's like a ball valve that's fitted to the side of the pump that you open, start the machine, it starts, you know, the water starts coming out the ball valve, and then you just close it instead of having to have one hand on the trigger. That would be the way I'd do it personally. We don't need to do that because we've got a K1 unloader valve. It's like a I think it's called a flow sensitive unloader, and so so we don't need to do that. We don't get all that backed up pressure in the hose. It sort of feeds it back to the tank. Hot day at the fire station, I can imagine, mate. Oh, you got a beer, nice. Who here got their tank professionally mounted in their van? Mine's strapped to the back of my machine, the frame. Revive and refresh. Are you talking about roof cleaning, or are you talking about just pressure washing? I'd avoid, a lot of people stick like tennis balls in the trigger and stuff. I don't think it's particularly safe. Although if you were to get the same trigger that I've got, which is the ST2600 trigger, I don't know if you've already got that one, but that one allows, it's got a little, it's got an easy pull on it. It's got a little cam on it. There's Sid, look. It's got a little cam where when you get past a certain point, it kind of clicks and takes all that pressure off your hand. I don't get any strain on my hands when I'm using mine. I've got like virtually no vibration really coming through the trigger. And yeah, with this, it just makes life really easy. Right, so yeah, when you open up the app, this is what you'll see immediately, is like an empty price list. What I'm going to do is just rebrand the app, and you can do that by hitting the little cogwheel at the top right hand corner, and then it'll ask you to, for your bank details, for the invoices and the quotes and stuff, but you can also just rename. See, it says luxury carpets at the top. I'm just going to rename that to Smelts Pressure, capitalize it, pressure washing, and then I'm going to change the brand color to like a nice orange, and then that sort of changes all the color on the app, which is quite nice. You can change the currency as well if you need to. Save all that. And so if your customer's sort of looking over your shoulder, it's nice that you've got your sort of brand name across the top of the app as well, and that's the same across all the screens, which is cool. So this tool is called Upsell. This is the app that we've been developing, and it's a quoting tool. It's essentially building off the back of, does anyone remember Smelt.club? I don't know if anyone's still using Smelt.club. So this essentially was just a quoting calculator. You type in your square meterage, and then you set your base price, whatever surface you're cleaning. You might have like £3 per square meter for tarmac, but then you might be all the way up at like £4.50 for block paving, for example. And then it will kind of work out as well, based on 15 square meters per bag, how much sand you might need. You can even type in the price of your sand so that you can sort of see how much you're going to be spending. You can do the same with sealing as well. So you can go onto the manufacturer's website and figure out how much you get out of a litre for sealer, how many quotes you'll need, how many coats you'll need. So that'll work out how much sealer is required. This is still available, Smelt.club, on your browser. But I thought, how can I take this, which people use and people seem to enjoy, and turn it into something that's a little bit more streamlined and sort of purpose made. And so we've had a think, and rather than sort of making it so specific to pressure washing, I wanted to make it a little bit more user friendly for like more people, so it's more applicable for other trades as well. So what you can do is create a service by hitting that little button in the bottom corner, and then I can do anything here. So I could break this down as like finely detailed as I like for the customer. So for example, I could do because it's in alphabetical order, let's do pressure washing block paving, and then I'm going to do, let's just say for example, without sand, let's go £3.50 per square meter. We'll do a minimum charge of 100, it used to be 125 quid. Let's do 140 quid now. I think that's, I don't think I'd want to do block paving for anything less at the minute. So let's add that as a service. And now, because it's in alphabetical order, it's in the middle here. So it's got my minimum charge per square meter. If I'm like a window cleaner, for example, or if I'm doing gutter clearing, and I don't want to charge per meter or per any specific sort of unit, I can just change it, gutter clearing, and I can make up my own unit. So I can do like £45, and I can do instead of per meter or per meter squared or per hour or whatever, I can make up my own. So I can just say like per side, £45 per side. If I'm a window cleaner, I can do like small window. Let's do window cleaning, small window. I don't know how much you guys charge for window cleaning. Could do like £3 per window. So you can really like just you can put anything in here. If you're like a plumber or an electrician and you install like light switches and you use the same switches every time or something crazy like that, you could just say, okay, I'm going to do £4 for the materials. I'm going to do £4 per switch, and I'm going to use like 20 switches on this job, for example. So you can be super specific with it. Ground surface, like chemical treatment. So I could do like black spot remove. You want to sort of type these as if the customer's going to see it, because it can give you this sort of breakdown on the quote as well. So black spot treatment, and we'll do like £1 per meter squared. And then we could also do like biocide maintenance top up, £1.50 per meter squared. What else could we do? You can put like emojis on here as well. So you could just do like, where's water? You could do like tarmac wash, £3 per meter squared. I've also got like things like travel on mine as well, 45p per mile. Access hire, £75 per day. Inspections. You could do. I'm going to be breaking down the roof cleaning. Instead of doing that weird calculation where you have to, you've got like a roof. You measure it on Google Earth. It's 75 meters squared. And then you've got to multiply it by you've got to multiply it by like the pitch of the roof. Instead of doing that calculation every time, you can just work out, for example, if I was to do my price for roof cleaning, for example, would be like £8 per meter squared for a flat roof. But then if it's a shallow roof, I'm going to want to multiply it by about 1.2. So it's £9.60. So let's get rid of this one. Create a service. Let's do house, little house emoji. And this is going to be roof clean or roof wash, because we might put scraping in there as well. Shallow. And then we can do, what did I say? £9.60 per meter squared. And so instead of having to do that weird calculation every time, it's sort of done it for me now. And minimum charge for roof cleaning, let's just say 700 quid. I don't really want to do one for less than that. And then we can do the same again. So roof wash, let's just say steep. And I'm going to multiply that, instead of 1.2, I'm going to multiply it by 1.5, £12 per square meter. So it's just like, you can account for all your prices in here. Oh, I didn't put little brackets around it, damn it. That sort of stuff bugs me. I'd need to delete that and go and do it again, because that would just bug me forever just looking at that. And then in your next screen, so this is like, once you've got your prices down, this is going to be the main bit, is like getting the app set up and just sort of getting into the habit of having a pricing structure. Because as soon as I got a price, what was that? As soon as I got a price structure, oh, my camera's overheating. I might have to turn this camera off and restart the stream in a minute. As soon as I got a pricing structure for my work, it became so much easier to quote. And so I was so much less emotional about quotes. You know, you sometimes send a quote off and it's like, oh, I don't know if I've gone in too expensive there. I don't know what they're going to think of that and stuff. Now I'm just like, that's my price because that's my structure and I've measured it. And this is what I charge everyone else. So I don't need to haggle with you. I don't need to justify my price. That's just what it is. And the customer is less likely as well to want to haggle with you because you're not guessing. They can see you're clear that you've got some sort of way of quoting work. And so when you're not guessing, when you're not estimating, they're less likely to sort of push back. And I've found a lot now with a lot of my quotes. I can't remember last time someone tried to haggle me down, actually. I actually can't remember the last time that happened. And I think if you're doing on-site quotes and you're walking around and you're going, oh, I think that's going to be around about, yeah, it's going to be about £750, that one is, £750. They go like, and then they come back and say like, oh, do you think you could do it for under £7? I was thinking I had a budget of under £7. And then you do this back and forward with the customer, and if you have a structure, you just avoid all that. I really truly believe that. Any plans to have this app released on iPhone? Yes, hopefully. Yeah. The app is called Upsell. Upsell. And it's on the Google Play Store. You can get a 7-day free trial. So just, even if you don't intend on using it, I'd really appreciate some feedback. I'm figuring out the best way of trying to market this over the next couple of weeks. I'm going to do some videos about it and stuff. And so I'd really appreciate just feedback and testers and stuff. Do your 7-day free trial. And if you don't want to keep using it, just remember to unsubscribe from it. But if you do find it useful, it might be something that you can, carry on using going forward. And then the next screen at the bottom there, we've got customers. So we've got price list, the first screen. The next screen is going to be your customers. So these are all made up customers. We've got Charles Darwin. We've got James Webb, Nikola Tesla. These are all real people, real customers of mine. So if you're not, if you're organising to go and visit the customer, at this point you could just take some basic details. Let's just put myself in there at the minute. I've not got the phone number. I've just got the email address, and I've got the address of 29 Eton Mess, because we like pudding. Redditch. And so you don't necessarily need all the details to create a customer. So we've created that person now. And then this is where you sort of keep track of all of the customers' quotes. So this is your customer database. So this kind of works as a calculator in preparation for the next stage when we're going to actually create a quote. And then this is like a customer database, because since I've started my business, I've never had a customer database. I've never stored my customers' information anywhere apart from the calendar entry. So when I get a job or a quote or an inquiry or whatever, I stick them in the calendar, and then if I want to get that person's number or address, I need to remember roughly whenabouts that I did the job, go back through my calendar entries, click on the calendar, and hope that I put the customer's information in there properly, and then think, oh, did I text them? Did I call them? Was it an email conversation? I can't remember what I did. So to this day, I've not had a solution for this, and in my opinion, you could classes in session. In my opinion, you could get a CRM system, and that's fine for a lot of people. And in my experience, I've not been keen on CRMs just because of how complicated they are. You sort of open these apps up, and there's so many different features all sort of bolted together, and you could spend a whole day setting up the app, and it's just like, it's a bit too much for me. I just want it to be simple. And so the whole idea of creating this app was that we were just going to keep it really, really nice and simple, and just put the basics in, the bare minimum of what I think you need to run a business, to run a service-based business where you're offering multiple services and you want to do quotes for a customer. And so that's what I built. I built this. I mean, James has built this app for me. It's for me first, with all the stuff that I want in it. And then if someone else finds it useful as well, then great. Hopefully it does well, but if not, this is for me. So let's go over to the quotes screen. And now we can create a new quote. So we can either type in a new customer's details. So if we're at the property, we just we haven't met this person before, we haven't spoke to them, we're just putting their details in for the first time. That'll save it to the customers page. Or you can pick from your existing customers. Let's go Jake, Eaton Mess. And then we just select a service. So this is just where we start adding stuff on to the quote. Really easy. Let's go pressure washing block paving. Let's go 75 square meters. And so I got a prompt. If I'm doing like 7 square meters, it's prompting me to say your minimum charge applies at this point, because I've put a minimum charge on this one. If I'm doing like 75 square meters, it's going to remove that little warning. And then I could also do like if I'm doing this as part of like a larger block of work for the customer, I might want to discount certain services. So I might want to give her like a 10% discount off of this one. I'm actually just going to save that and go back to the price list because I forgot to add resanding. And let's just do £1 per square meter. And then go back to our quote, edit that one, add on the resandings, just so it breaks it down nicely for the customer. And then again, it's 75 square meters. This is roughly about what I charge as well, to be fair. I've sort of set it up based on my actual prices. They also want their gutters clearing. Let's go gutter clearing, and I'm doing £45 per side. They've got 3 sides to their property. 135 quid. There's a little button at the bottom where you can sort of charge VAT. You can do it that way, or you can sort of go back into your settings and change it globally so you can charge VAT on all items. So let's go back into this quote. So 446 quid. We might want to do a little 10% off on the gutter clearing as well. Save that. And the little colours on the right hand side, you can change the quote status. So we've got a couple of different quote statuses where you've sent the quote off and you're just pending a reply. The quote's been approved, so that'll change the little colour on the right hand side to blue. The quote has been rejected, so that'll change it to red. In the future, I think I want to sort of track how... I'd like to have like a little pie chart of how many quotes have been rejected versus how many have been like approved, and how many I'm waiting for responses for. So this is a really nice way of just going through your list of quotes and just making sure you're on top of everything and making sure you've actually got back to people. Because that's something I've done in the past. I've like sent quotes off, totally forgot about them, and then this way I can sort of go back through the quotes and think like, I haven't had a reply from that person, what's going on there? And then obviously we can do complete, so that'll change it to white, and then we can also do paid, and that'll change it to green. And then also, if we wanted to forward this quote to the customer, we can either do it from here, so we can tap to expand, so you can see that little breakdown of the quote there, which is really nice. And then you get that button to say export to PDF. And you can either export this as a quote, or you can do it as an invoice. I'm just going to hide my screen for a second, just so you can't see any of my other files. 2 seconds. So I'm going to export it as a quote, save. There we go. So I've got my business title across the top there. So that's what we changed in the beginning in the settings menu. So that could say Smelts pressure washing, it could say carpet cleaning, it could say Craig's jet washing services, whatever. You can change that in the settings screen. You've got bank details on the left, so the customer can actually pay you. You've got the customer's information on the right, and then you've got a nice breakdown of the quote. This will show the little like emojis as well, which I thought was quite cute. You've got like a little roof cleaning emoji next to it. You've got the breakdown for the customer, so they can see what sort of discounts have been applied and stuff. And if you have the VAT checked on there as well, it will show the VAT. And you see this one here, it says quote at the moment. It's because I clicked on export to quote. You can also click export to invoice as well, so that you can get an invoice copy sent to the customer. And this can just be saved to your phone and just forwarded either on WhatsApp or email or Facebook Messenger or whatever it might be. Which I think's handy. Not every customer needs like a written one, but I thought it'd be good for people to have the option. And then you can go back to your customers, and if I wanted to do like later on down the line, if I did another quote for Jake and I was going to do like window cleaning for him, and he's got 10 windows. Let's also add a surcharge. So if it's something you haven't thought about in your price list and you just want to quickly add it while you're walking around with the customer, Seeders, you get a 7-day free trial, mate, and then it's $4.99 per month, which I think is quite competitive. So if you're walking around with a customer and you think, I want to add that on, but I haven't set it up in my price list, I can just say, for example, I'm going to charge you to move all those pots unless you can get someone to do it yourself, because they've got a back patio with loads of pots and plants and furniture everywhere. And you can just say, I'm going to charge you 15 quid unless you can get someone else to do it for you. So you can add a surcharge. See that little surcharge at the top. So this doesn't require like a price list item. You just add a description, so move pots, and add a value, so just 15 quid. Save that. And then, so I've got my list of quotes here. So that's a nice way of keeping on top of stuff. And then if I want to go back to my customers, I can click on Jake, and it will give you a breakdown of how much work you've done for that person. So you get like a total value of quotes, and then it stores all of their quotes in one place under their customer profile, which I think is nice. And you can tap to expand, and you can export them. You can edit them from this screen as well. And later on down the line, we're going to be adding like a notes section, so you could add like it's like 150 square meters at the front, it's maybe 25 square meters at the back. Poor drainage, You could note down the water pressure. So last time it was 15 litres per minute. So if you're going to go and do that same job next year, you've got it in your notes. And then hopefully at some point we're going to be adding the ability to put your before and after pictures in this customer details section as well. So if this person comes back to you in a year's time and they want another quote for like a similar job, not only can you see what you quoted last year, but you'll also be able to see either before and after pictures, or you'll be able to see pictures of the property. So you'll be able to get a good idea of like access and stuff like that, which I think is cool. And that's it. It's very simple. It's essentially, it's a calculator with a customer database sort of strapped onto the side of it. But once you've got your pricing set up, I think it's very, very powerful. And it's a good way of storing all your customers' information and just making sure you're not going to lose stuff. Keeping track of all the status of all your quotes and stuff. And we're going to be adding to this very regularly. I've got loads of ideas for this. Not ideas that are going to overcomplicate the app, but ideas that are going to just add a little bit more quality of life and just a little bit more functionality to it. So you can do, it's not designed to be a CRM. It's not competing with stuff like Jobber and whatever the other CRM apps are that are like, you know, £30+ a month. This is just designed for people who are, if you haven't got anything like this in place and you've been in business for a couple of years like I have, and you want to stop writing stuff down, you know, pen and paper, or if the other apps are a little bit overwhelming, you want something a bit simpler. Like I say, if you've already got a CRM and you're happy with, or you've got some accounting software and that does all that sort of stuff for you, then great. This isn't for you. But if you just want to give something a try and see if you can gel with this. This looks really good in green. I've been playing with some of the colours and it sort of makes everything look a little bit cooler. Did you say you can do mass messaging? No. Potentially at some point that'll be added. At the minute, no. We're just sort of it's pretty basic at the moment, but we're just making sure everything we've added works really well and it's like intuitive. And then we'll gradually start adding stuff. You guys talking about rubble sacks? I get mine from Screwfix. Woven polypropylene 50-litre rubble sacks. If anyone's interested in trying out the app for 7 days, you get a 7-day free trial on the Google Play Store, and it's called Upsell. Android only at the moment. There it is, look. I need to update some of these pictures because they're a little bit old. Upsell on the Google Play Store. Give it a try and please just give me some feedback. I'd love to know what you guys would add or what you'd change. These are the rubble sacks that we use. Just white woven polypropylene. These let all the moisture sort of drain out the bottom, and then you just get left with like a dry bag of dirt, which is very useful for pressure washing, gutter clearing, all that sort of stuff. I've got a few things on my wish list at the moment. I would like I'm thinking about doing a video where I'm just sort of trying out things that make a pressure washer's life a little bit easier. And the first one would be Oh, is it not on the website? What's the Vario adjuster called? I thought it was called a Vario adjuster. Standard quick release. There. Yeah, Vario? No. Does anyone know what it's called? I don't see it on this website anymore. Guns and Lances. High pressure triggers. There it is. Adjustable pressure. So this is on my wish list of stuff that I think would make life a little bit easier. And I think we're due some new triggers. Mine's a little bit battered. It's got a minor leak on it. And the cam sometimes doesn't pull all the way in. And it gets sort of locked. And it doesn't get past the point where it clicks in. So I'm thinking about ordering 2 of these. One for me, one for Jakey. So you can adjust the pressure as you're going into like a corner or something. Or if you want to turn the pressure of the X-Jet down. Is because at the moment, one of us is sort of over on the drive. And the other one's adjusting the machine and saying, is that alright? Up or down? Down. Okay. And they adjust the pressure down. And then the other one's sort of trying to communicate from a distance. And I think this would be so much simpler if it works with our machines. Because apparently it doesn't work with all unloader valves. I'd be interested to know if this works with the K1 unloader. There's actually a tab on here called Sid's Choice. Where was that? Sid's Choice. This is one of the products I recommend in my 5-star rated business. Huh. Yeah, so you just turn that bit on the end there and it changes the pressure. Really good if you've got like a turbo nozzle and you're going up to the corners and just doing like, you know, where you go into a corner and it's, you know, it's just going to go all over you. If you could just adjust the pressure on the fly, just to do it like a little bit, just to give it a little tickle, that'd be so much better. The next thing on my list is from Rutland Pumps and it's called a J-Rod. J-Rod assembly. This thing, you can put multiple different nozzles in it, generally like fan nozzles. So I could have a 15 degree, 25, 40, maybe 65. I could have different flow. I could have the same nozzle, but like different flow rates, depending on like the customer's water pressure. I could have different orifice sizes, so that I could have like a 15 degree nozzle, full flow, or I could have a 15 degree nozzle, which is like smaller orifice. And you combine that with that adjustable trigger, and that could like, you'd have so much more versatility and just being able to hot swap between nozzles. Do we think that would add like a lot of weight on the end of the lance? J-Rod's wicked. Use it on my power pole for rinsing fascias and gutters. Oh really? That's a good idea. Oh, you've got one, Simon. You've got one of the adjustables. Why haven't I got the app yet? That's bang on, to be honest. Oh, awesome, mate. I'm glad to hear it. Give it a go and let me know what you think about it. 7-day free trial. Just give it a go. Thanks for the kind words. And you can spec this out with whatever size nozzles you need. I'm sure they could fit. If you don't want those ones, I'm sure you could just email them or phone them and ask them for like specific nozzles. The other thing on my list, as I said earlier, is a bunch more Pro Grip stuff. I need to like fully kit out my van with like new Pro Grip stuff. I'd like the... It's sort of we're sort of mid-season at the moment, so I'm tentative to buy another sprayer as we're, you know, potentially verging towards the back end of the season. Are we? Is that fair to say, or are we still in the beginning of it? But Smart Seal sell this Gloria sprayer, and Joe's Jets really rated this, and she had the Chapin 1949, which is the one I've got, and it's on its last legs. The lance is bent. The hose is like, it's probably got all sorts of dry sealer inside it and stuff. So that's the one I've got. And to be honest, I'm not so keen on it. It's heavy. I'd like to be able to see inside it, although I don't know if that would work with like a sealer sprayer, because if it's a coloured sealer, you wouldn't be able to see what's in there anyway. The lid's a bit funky. You can't really empty it properly because it's got like a lip on the top of the lid where you can only empty it so much, but it leaves some liquid in it. It's a bit of a pain to clean out. It's got it rusts on the bottom, so everywhere I leave it, it leaves like a rust ring if you leave it there for too long. So I'd like one of these Glorias, but it's quite a bit of money, and I'm not sure I need it just yet. She said the trigger's a little bit better. I think she might have said the hose is a bit more flexible, I can't remember. But I'm after one of them. And then also, potential good news on the horizon. Sophie's mum is she's looking at like new garage doors and stuff. You know, the roller shutter doors. They're really cool. They look like security doors. She's looking at getting some of them. She's actually booked it to have these roller shutters installed on her house. She's got this big double garage, and I'd say a lot of stuff in the garage hasn't been used for like a very long time. It's just sort of sat there, and so I suggested I'm potentially looking at a unit in the next 6 months or so. Instead of me paying someone else, you're having these new garage doors fitted. Could I clear half of this garage, install loads of racking and storage solutions, maybe a workbench, like a vise, maybe get like a pallet of sand delivered rather than having to keep going to Travis Perkins every couple of days, and store all my stuff, and maybe liaise there every morning with Jakey. Instead of Jakey meeting me at my house, maybe we meet there, load up the van, and on we go. Have actual like storage solutions for stuff, so like surface cleaners can be hung on the wall. Chemical barrels can be all on the racking and stuff. Like it'd be so much better than what I've got going on now. I've just got all my chemicals sort of sat down the side of the house, and it's just not ideal. So potentially looking at, if not a unit, maybe moving my stuff into Soph's mom's big double garage. A pallet of sand and a cube of hypo saves on the paperwork for tax returns massively. That's a good point. Yeah, you're not filing 20 receipts, you just file in one. That's a good idea. Yeah, with regards to sweeping up the muck, what me and Jakey tend to do is sweep it into a pile. I think Simon just said this. So sweep it into a pile, rinse the driveway while that pile's drying out, scoop it into the woven bags. All the moisture sort of drains out the bottom, and we always leave those bags with the customer. We don't take any waste away with us. I don't want it in my van. Tell the customer at the quoting stage, we don't take the waste away. Do you have a garden waste bin, or it'll make decent mulch for like plant borders, or it could just sort of go under the bushes at the bottom of the garden or something. And I've not had one person complain or reject a quote because of that in 4 years. They've always made it work. They'll either put it in the garden waste bin, or they'll take it to the tip in the morning or something, or it's definitely less convenient for them than if I was to just take it away, but I don't really want to be honest. I'm quite happy. If I were to take it away as well, I could just say, like, if I were to take it away, I'd be charging a lot more because that would be accounted for in the price. I just don't want sticky, horrible, dirty, wet bags in the back of the van. You know what I mean? If you could offer one bit of advice for someone starting out, what would it be? Oh, Gareth, that is a very broad question, mate. I'll give you a couple of things. Everyone knows, you know, I like social media. I think social media is the way forward. If you're not planning on doing anything, you know, leaflets are great, websites great, paying for Google ads and stuff is great, but social media, man. Get good at social media. Just get into the habit of posting regularly. Bank account, you want to get yourself a business bank account as early as possible so that you're not mixing your personal finances with your business finances. One of the best things I ever did was get a business bank account, because then I was very, very clear at that point of sort of what money's mine and what money is the business's. You know what I mean? Cedars, thank you for upgrading to becoming a Circle member. Cedars has got his own Discord now and it's free. You don't need us anymore, mate. Thank you, mate. Yeah, when I got a business bank account, when it's all mixed together, you're almost sort of scared to buy stuff. To like buy chemicals and buy sand and get new equipment and stuff, because you think, hang on, that's for my bills. How much do I need for the shopping? Okay, I've got that coming out later in the month, so I need to make sure I've got enough for that. And it's like your wages, you don't take wages, they're just sort of sat there. And you can't really track how much money you've got. How much belongs to the business? It belongs to you, but how much belongs to the business versus how much you've got personally? And to separate those two things, it's much easier to do early on. The earlier you can do it, the better. And I can't remember who told me. I thought you could just open a business bank account. I didn't think you needed to be registered as a business, but you might have to. You might have to earn that first £1,000. Go onto the Gov website and register your business to say, right, I've earned my first £1,000. This is getting serious. I need to register as a sole trader. Apply for self-assessment, which it all sounds quite complicated if you've never done it before, but it's very easy. Open your business bank account and keep those finances separate. Don't buy something for the business on your personal card, and don't spend stuff from your personal life on the business card. Don't mix them, just keep them separate. It'll make things so much easier. You don't yet, Monzo business go straight through. Okay, nice. So you leave the bag also with the customer, or take it back when you do the resanding? I don't take the waste away, no. Sometimes the customer asks me to pour the bag out into like the plant borders, or pour it out into the garden waste bin, and you can wash those bags because they're just plastic, they're just woven polypropylene. You can just tip the waste out, just rinse them down with the pressure washer, and it's like a brand new bag again, so you can just use it again. I think they're about £5 for 5 bags, so I like to get them back when I can because I'm a tight ass. Gloria is 172 quid on Amazon. Really? Are you sure it's the same one? It's all about supporting everyone you can. You are helping other people, so that's all that matters. Cedars, thank you, mate. Very kind of you. As long as you don't go stealing our guides and sharing them in your Discord, I'll let you stay. Okay, mate. Am I joking? Rubble bags are about £12 for 30. Oh yeah, you can buy them in bulk as well. Yeah. Regan, welcome. Regan. Sorry. Keystone. I know you've been here a while. Can't tell if you're saying evening to me or evening to someone else, but evening. What other advice would I give? Don't leave your job. Don't just pack in your job and say, right, I'm gonna be a pressure washer. Don't do that. Other people would say do that. I think Ryan from Curbside said something along the lines of, if you're gonna commit to something, just go all in, else you're not invested. And I don't know, if you've got like a family and kids and mortgage and stuff, that's too scary for me. So I personally wouldn't do that. But the good woven bags I keep, the black plastic customer keeps. Yeah. Looks the same on Amazon. Oh, okay. Nice, mate. Coming poaching. We have similar members already, but it's chalk and cheese. No threat here. Oh, I was only joking. Any other advice I'd offer to someone new? Buy my app. $4.99 a month. Google Play Store. In the beginning, I would suggest, I would actually suggest doing all of your quotes in person, not only to build sales experience, but because you are way more likely to win a job if you turn up and make a good impression. If you think you can quote jobs remotely when you've got no reviews, no portfolio, no before and after pictures, no customer recommendations, if you think you can sell remotely and land jobs with nothing to back up, what you can offer, I think you're probably going to be surprised. Whereas if you can make the effort to go out and speak to the customer, introduce yourself and say, look, I haven't been doing this long, I've not long started up, I've done loads of research, I've done a bunch of jobs for my friends and family, and they're all been absolutely over the moon. I watch this guy on YouTube, he's absolutely brilliant. He goes live every Monday night and he's like, any questions you've got, you can just ask him live on stream and he'll answer. And he'll like, yeah, his name's Smelt and he's just insanely good. And if you say that to them, they'll be well impressed. No, I'm joking. Visit your quotes in person, even if it's cheap jobs. If it's like a cheap gutter clearing job or something, just go and quote it in person. Just solidify, just walk around with the customer, say, oh, I like your dog, what dog's that? Or how long have you been here then? It's like a nice quiet area, isn't it? And then just be personable and just like, is the app only in the UK? I'm from Estonia. No, it's only on Android at the moment, so it's only on the Google Play Store. So if you're on iPhone, you might not be able to find it. You won't be able to find it. Should work in Estonia, pretty sure. New people advice, send me all your leads. I had my daughter helping me last week for a school work experience, and it was really nice just having a helping hand, making me think I need an employee. Yeah, I couldn't believe it when I had help from my brother for the first time, when I had help from Rich for the first time, my mate who's just, he started up last year in Birmingham. He came over and helped me on a couple of jobs just to see what he thought and see whether he liked it. And then when Jakey joined full time, I couldn't believe how much quicker we got through stuff. Just having someone else setting up the equipment while I'm talking to the customer, someone to give me a hand sweeping up, and especially if they've got another machine. If they've got their own machine, it's just like double the time, like half the time it takes to do the jobs. Gutter clearing, you've got one up the ladder guiding you, you've got one on the pole, and it just speeds up every job, speeds up everything. And I didn't consider that. I thought, oh, there's only so much you can do when you're on, one driveway. There's only so many things you can actually do. Surely it's not gonna save that much time, but it really does. Get them sending, posting leaflets through the neighbours' doors while you're packing the equipment up. Customers love honesty. People buy people as much as the service. I wholeheartedly agree with that. A lot of people would say, be professional. Don't tell them you've just started. Make out like you sort of know exactly what you're doing. And I think the opposite. I honestly think the opposite. I think be totally upfront and honest with the customer and just say, like, this is going to be my first tarmac job. I've not cleaned tarmac before, but I'm looking forward to getting it on the portfolio. I'm looking forward to getting my first one done. Looking forward to getting the before and after pictures for my portfolio. Again, I've done a lot of research. I know what I'm doing, but it's a different thing looking at it online and actually doing it in person. And quite often you'll find the customer's actually rooting for you to do well. If you say, "Oh, I've done loads of these, yeah, easy," you know what I mean, and then you don't come through with the result, and the customer's thinking, "Hang on, you told me you've done loads of these." There's so much pressure when you pretend you know something that you don't, and quite often the customer can see through that as well. I think a lot of people think they're like good liars or good sort of bullshitters and salesmen, but quite often they're not. And you can see straight through someone. And as soon as you get that guy that actually knows his stuff, that old boy that actually knows his stuff, he's like, "So what chemicals do you think you're going to be using on this one? Then are you going to use chemicals or not?" And you're like, I don't know, I might use hypo. It's like, "What, you can put bleach on tarmac, can you?" And you're like, yeah, I've done loads of these, yeah." And like you just fall apart. It's so much better to just be honest. Can't find it. Do you have a link? Oh, that's strange. I'll try and post it in the chat for you now, mate. How do you find coming off a splitter at source, Jake? Me and Dan Fresh Rinse have a project next week where we have 2 machines on, hoping we don't feel it too much. It's job to job. It depends on obviously how good the customer's water pressure is. Anything around 15 litres per minute and over is fine. I've just posted a link in the chat, mate, so hopefully that works for you. If you can both fill your tanks up before you start, don't get ahead of yourself and start before your tank's full, because you'll just be stopping sooner. There's no point. Just fill both tanks up. 15 litres per minute upwards, and it will, most average driveways, 50 to 75 square meters, and you probably find you'll only need to stop when it comes to using loads of water towards the end to rinse down. We use quite high flow nozzles at the end when we're rinsing down, like loads of water, low pressure, loads of water, and that can like really eat through the water. But at that point, I'd tell Jakey, we don't need 2 of us on this. Just if you want to start packing your machine up, give me all the water, and I'll just rinse. But for the actual turbo nozzling, 15 litres per minute plus is around about good. He just copied your Discord group. No, I don't think he's copied it. No, I think he's making it his own. He's doing his own thing. How would you start on exterior cleaning? We have a company that does cleaning and thinking about extending to exterior. Thank you for your videos. Oh, thanks, mate. Very good industry to get into if you've already got your foot in the door with interior cleaning customers, especially commercial. If you've already got commercial customers, it would be so much easier to sell your exterior cleaning services. It's what I say the same thing about window cleaners. Window cleaners, if they're looking to get into pressure washing or roof cleaning or whatever, they've got this huge list of customers. It's so much easier to upsell, excuse the pun, to upsell a customer that you've already been doing work for than it is to find a new customer and sell a service to them for the first time. It's so much easier to just, oh, it's not available in Estonia. I'll have a look at that, mate. I will have a look at that because I'm sure it should be. Maybe it's just a box we need to tick. I'm sure it should be. When it comes to cleaning, interior cleaning to exterior cleaning, you might find that you'd have a decent amount of success selling window cleaning first. And window cleaning is probably the lowest barrier to entry if you wanted to just dip your toes in and just see whether it takes off or not. And you've probably, if you're already a cleaning company, you've probably already got the assets and stuff to, not the assets. You've probably already got the funds, resources to set up like another branch of the business. So you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from a point where you can just expand stuff, which is a really good position to be in. And if you've already got established customers, it's a brilliant idea. Just providing you've got enough staff to be able to fulfill the quotes and stuff. I'd start with window cleaning. Yeah, if you've already got like a school on the books for your interior cleaning, if you've got any big customers like a school or like an office or we've requested a quote to convert a van with an X-Line system. Have you heard of them? Yes, heard of X-Line, one of the biggest in the industry. I don't think you'll go too far wrong. Yeah, if you've got one of those big customers and you can organise to meet them in person at one point, or just pass by them and just say, oh, by the way, next month we're going to be launching our exterior branch of the business. So we'll be able to cover you for things like window cleaning, the cladding around the outside of the building. We could do the gutters and fascias and soffits and stuff. And if you've got like some schools or academies, they have maintenance budgets for this sort of work. So especially academies, they have to get this work done at least once a year. They have to get the windows cleaned generally every 6 months, and they have to get the fascias and soffits cleaned every 12 months. Gutters cleared out every 12 months as part of being an academy. It's like a thing. I didn't know this before. I spoke to one of the maintenance guys at a local school, and so I was walking around with them, and once you've got your foot in the door and they find a person that they like to use, that's it then. They'll use you for everything. So originally I went to clear the gutters because they had some leaky gutters. They were overflowing. All it ended up being was the kids have kicked the footballs up onto the roof and they've blocked the downpipes. Super easy job. Really easy access. It's a low roof. Just walking around the top of the roof and just clearing stuff. I think the gutter clear ended up being about 700 quid. But as I was walking around with the caretaker, I was just like, do you need your windows cleaning? When's the last time you had the windows cleaned? Have you got anyone for that? And they're like, oh no, they actually need doing every 6 months, and we haven't, the last guy, we haven't heard from him, so yeah, if you want a quote for that, just stick a quote in. I think we ended up sticking a quote in of about 480 quid for the windows. I said like the soffits, the fascias and stuff are like quite green where the downpipes are. Do you want us to just quote for that as well? He's like, yeah, just stick a quote in for all of it, mate. And so that was like another 600 quid. What else did we do? There was some skylights. There was a bit of moss on the flat roof. And when we were up there clearing the gutters, we just said, like, do you want us to sweep up the moss on the flat roof? 150 quid, like, super simple job. And it's just like, if you've already got your foot in the door with businesses like this, they've got the maintenance budgets for it, especially commercial stuff. They've already set money aside. So what started off as like a relatively simple, I mean, it was a good you know, it's not a bad day's wage for just a bit of gutter clearing. But then once you start just adding on all those services and saying, do you want me to just put a quote in? Like, because the maintenance guy don't care. He's just like, yeah, just quote for everything. So you quote for everything, and then the person in the office is like, or the person on the board is like, well, I guess it all needs doing, so yeah, just do it. And if you hadn't have asked those questions, you just left so much money on the table, and you'd have never known. So sometimes you got to sort of push your luck a little bit and just say, like, do you want us to quote it while we're here, even if you don't want it all done at the same time? I've just started my dream of doing pressure washing full time for myself. I'm struggling to get leads. I'm doing lots of door knocking and handing out about 50 leaflets a day and not hearing much back. Lewis, it's a difficult time of year for a lot of people. For some reason, a lot of trades, gardeners, hedge trimmers, pressure washing, exterior cleaning are like the quietest. It's like the quietest June they've had in years for some reason. And I don't know why. But I would say keep doing your door knocking. Is there anything you can do to improve the visual aspect of what you're doing? Have you got a uniform? Are you smart and presentable? Is there anything you can... I would genuinely go on YouTube or ChatGPT or whatever and just say, how can I improve my door-to-door sales? Without being that guy that's super pushy and just won't take no for an answer. Without being that guy, do some just like online training and role play or whatever. How you can... I think a lot of people would benefit from that. Just learning how to sell a service, not pushy, but learning how to interact with a customer for the first time and not appear as if you're some sleazy salesman, but just to sort of get on their good side, not get the door slammed in your face all the time. I think there's a lot of things you might be doing that you could do. You could just adjust ever so slightly to just increase your likelihood of getting someone to say, yeah, you can give me a quote if you want. Richard, my mate Rich from Birmingham, who's been doing this for I think just over a year now, he has a lot of success. I mean, when I say a lot, it's difficult with leaflets and door knocking because you have to spend hours and potentially thousands of leaflets for it to start to pay off. If you think putting out 1,000 leaflets is a lot, it's not. It doesn't even scratch the surface. There's people that do 10, 20,000 leaflets, and those are the ones, when you've got a good leaflet, those are the ones that get like a good return on investment, because you get like, if you're to put 2,000-3,000 leaflets out or get someone to do that for you, and it costs you what, I don't know how much that would cost, maybe 300-400 quid, no idea, I'm just pulling a number out of thin air, but then you get 2 jobs from it and they're like £600-700 jobs, big driveways, patio around the back, they've got some decking, then they might want the roof cleaning or the gutters clearing. It's worth it, but a lot of people are scared to spend that sort of time and money on something that's unproven, and I'm the same. I don't spend money on leaflets. I don't spend time handing them out because I've not had good success with them, but I know a lot of people that have. The way I like to do things is just do a quick and effective social media post that isn't an advert. It's more entertaining or satisfying content, maybe a little bit educational as well, but it serves as an advert for my business. So a lot of people that are watching my Facebook reels or my YouTube stuff, they're just seeing it as entertainment, and it's like I'm building a brand that's like, the brand is sort of centered around me as being the face of the brand, and you don't necessarily see it as a business. You see it more as just like what I'm doing sort of day to day, but I'm advertising to people. It took me a while to actually figure this out, because I said to Sophie a while back, I said, well, I don't advertise, do I? And she said, you do. You advertise every day. You put all your before and after pictures on Facebook. You do all your videos and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, that is actually advertising, isn't it? And it's free, totally free. Yes, it costs time, but I actually enjoy doing it. So I enjoy doing the videos. I enjoy editing. I enjoy the feedback loop. little bit narcissistic. I don't know what the word is. You know, when you sort of enjoy the feedback loop of putting something out, it gets some likes and it gets some decent views, and then you get feedback from the comments and stuff. I enjoy that whole process. That might mean that I'm just some sort of weird person that loves himself too much. That's fine, doesn't matter. But if you can find something that really works for you and figure out a way of advertising to people without it feeling too much like an advert, which I think is what I've done and why this works for me. When I try and do an advert, it feels gross. It feels really weird. A lot of the time, like I'll do adverts for like sponsors, and I might do like an advert for gutter clearing when things are getting a bit quiet in the winter, and it just feels a bit gross. And they never do as well as my normal content. Adverts always do worse. If you can make it interesting and engaging before turning it into an advert, I think that's the best way to do it. Oh, I've missed a lot of messages, I'm sorry. Do you approve them? Do you approve? I've never got a system from Xline. I have no idea, mate. I just know they're very they're a big business in the UK. I cleaned Tesco limestone cladding yesterday for a big facilities management company. It was a nice payday and good for the portfolio. Tesco limestone cladding. What does that mean, Dave? Very cool, but Tesco limestone cladding. Limestone and cladding, or limestone cladding? Because that sounds weird. We do ventilation, grease extraction cleaning as well. I believe windows and gutters are easy add-on to our current customers. Yeah, I'd agree, definitely. I have an Xline system, had it for over 7 years, happy with it. Nice. I'd also recommend getting in touch with CleanLink as well. Tom from CleanLink, he'll definitely be able to help you out. I just typed in Tom. They've got water-fed poles. They've got van-mounted window cleaning systems. I didn't know they had all this. Look. There's also a discount code on my channel. It'll appear here in a minute. There it is. Look, 5% off and free shipping if you use my code there. Look, with CleanLink. And Tom regularly pokes his head in the chat and says hello, and he's in the Discord as well, so he's always on hand to help if anyone needs it. They do the gutter clearing stuff. They've got gutter vacuums, roof cleaning, pressure washing. He's a good guy. You should definitely speak to Tom as well, just to keep your options open. That's cleanlink.co.uk. Hello, Steve. You're right, mate. Windows, would you go for hot water? It does add an element of complexity to the system. You're going to need some way of heating the water, obviously, whether it's a boiler or whether it's a whether it's some sort of submersible heater. You'll probably need a power hookup or solar panels. Like, it does get quite complex when you start messing around with hot water. Good person to talk about that with is Squeaky Clean Dave. He's got a hot water system in the back of his van. He's on YouTube and stuff. He's probably got videos about it. Squeaky Clean Dave on YouTube. I did gutters, fascias and soffits this morning. One of those with loads of weird awkward runs around the gaff. Made me remember how annoying they are. Gutters, fascias, soffit cleaning is probably one of the worst jobs. One of the worst services we offer. We just, neither of us like it. It's always a pain. In this weather, I couldn't imagine doing it in this weather. Just like constantly looking up. And then the rinsing is the bit that annoys me. Trying to rinse it down effectively and get rid of all the little bits and bobs, because I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. I end up spending more time rinsing than I do actually scrubbing. People holding onto their pennies, possibly. Vests and Air Max are definitely a no-no. Yeah, you need to look a little bit professional when it comes to door knocking. If you class some Crocs as well presented, then yes. And cheers, mate. I appreciate it. I'm getting good chat from the customers. Never too pushy, but no bookings coming through the email or my phone. So you're leaving information with them so that they can contact you in the future. I think that's probably the bit. If I've got that right, that's probably the bit that you're doing wrong. Try and get a commitment from them without being pushy. Try and get a commitment from them there and then. Have some way of accessing your calendar, and you would need. You can almost occasionally dodge around the price. I do this a lot with my quotes, where this is something I put in one of my earlier videos. To take the sting off of the price, when you say for pressure washing, whatever, it's going to be £420, and we've actually got availability next Friday, because we're going to be here next Friday doing the ladies down the road. And then they've gone from, oh my god, 420 quid to am I going to be around next Friday? It takes the sting off it, and it sort of redirects their attention to whether they're available that day. And it doesn't work every time, because some people think, oh no, I can't pay that, and like this is another thing I learned over the years as well. A lot of my customers are not price driven. So many of my customers are less concerned about the price and way more concerned about the result, which sounds obvious, but it's not. I thought it's all about price. I thought everyone was price driven, because I am, because I'm tight. I thought it's all about price. As long as you get the price right, why would they go anywhere else? So it's like, you got to be super competitive, not cheap, but competitive. And ideally you've got reviews and you've got before and after pictures and stuff to go along with that, so they've got a bit of reassurance. But it's totally the other way around. It's way less about price and way more about showing the customer that they're getting good value, they're gonna get a really good result, and showing, look at these results I got before, look at all these happy customers that I've got reviews from, and just like explaining what they're gonna get for their money. We're gonna do this, we're gonna chemically treat it, and then we're gonna come back on a dry day and we're gonna brush some fresh sand into the joints, and it's gonna really brighten everything up. It's gonna look amazing when it's done. And I've cleaned a lot of these bricks before. These yellow ones, they've got all the black spots on them. When we do the chemical treatment on these, they just pop, and all that black will disappear. Obviously try not to make too many promises if you're quite new and you don't really know what you're doing, but it's all about how you present it to the customer. And if you can just make that little mindset switch of being less concerned about, once you've got that pricing structure, like I showed on my app earlier, once you've got your pricing structure in place, and you can put that together by speaking with people like me and doing a bit of research and joining in someone's community, or whether it's my Discord or whether it's someone else's community chat and stuff, get a gauge of what everyone else is charging, and just get some sort of system in place. Right, I'm going to do block paving by the square meter. I'm going to do gutters and fascias per meter, or maybe per side, just to make it quicker and easier when I'm quoting. It's going to be £45 per side. You've got 3 sides, so it's going to be 130 quid, whatever. And that way, you don't have to negotiate. The customer says, how much is it going to be for my drive? And it's like, okay, I've measured it out. It's 50 square meters. If I'm at £4 per square meter, it's going to be 200 quid. And they're like, oh, is that the best you can do? And it's like, yeah, I mean, we price every job. We've got a structure, the way we price these jobs. We measure them out. Everyone pays the same. We're going to be in the area on the 24th. So if you want to book in for the 24th, we could give you like a 5% discount, because we're already going to be in the area. And like, just take the sting off the price and focus on the service instead, rather than the price. Some people, they'll say the price and then they'll just sit in silence and wait for the customer to say something. And they're like, yeah, that's the price, yeah. And then you start negotiating with yourself and thinking, oh, I suppose I could. I mean, if you didn't want that bit doing, I suppose I could. And it's like, no, that's the price. Do you ever pass on work to other companies? All the time. I did one today. I sent one to Craig over in Bolton, and he won I think it total about 100 square meter front drive and then rear patio. Whoever's in my Discord, basically, we have this members map in the Discord, and everyone puts their location on the map. And so if I get a job in Leicester, I might contact Summershine, or if I get a job in Norfolk, is this Norfolk? I might contact Goods of Vacuum Systems. Crystal Clean. Is that Liam? No, it's not Liam. So we've got people all over the country that I can pass work to. There's Matt from Onyx, look. And if people want to collaborate and they've got a big job coming in and they want some help, they can just find out if anyone's local. Oh, look at this. Aquaforce. That's a good idea. That's a really good idea. Put it in the map so that people know you're open to doing a little bit of work nearby. Got the fresh rinse there as well. So yeah, we're always passing on work to each other, helping each other out. It's a good place to be. Steve won a sealer job this evening in my slippers. Oh, you won a sealer job in your slippers. Take a look in the photos section, Jake. I have a quote tomorrow. I'll be interested to see your lad and the chat's thoughts on it. In the photos section, did you say? Oh my god, is it this one? The name's blanked out because I'm streaming. I'm assuming it's this one. That's insane. Is that block paving there? That can't be block paving. That looks like dirt there. I think there's a little block paved path here. There's no way that whole thing's block paving. Surely not. Mate, it wants ripping up and doing again. There's no way. I'd honestly advise them, if you pressure wash that, I mean, first of all, the only thing you can do is absolutely blitz the area with weed killer like a week before. But even then, you still pressure wash it. It's all going to come back very soon. Very, very quickly. You'd be better off just ripping it all out and starting again. Is that the one you were talking about? I'm so far behind on the chat. I'm sorry. I didn't realise there were so many messages coming through. I've been stuck. I've been going slow. I didn't realise there were so many people commenting. I will try and hit every comment, by the way. I'm not going slow on purpose. A few of my best long returning customers have come from leaflets, but there was very small return for the effort I put in, so I wouldn't recommend unless I'm starting off. Yeah, I mean, yeah, door knocking, leaflets and stuff, it's a huge time sink. It just depends on whether you can, if that's the only avenue you can go, because you've got no content, you've got no reviews, that's the only thing you can really do when you're first starting out. Unless anyone's got any other suggestion. Egotistical projects. I was joking, mate. It was a joke. So half the Tesco's white clad and the other half is limestone block. Oh, I see. Oh, nice. Have you ever considered using a drone for your photos? I used to have a drone when I worked at Maplin. I got a cheap drone, a Mavic Air 2, I think it was, can't remember. And I sold it before I started my pressure washing business, like 6 months before. And it was, I can't believe I sold it. It would have still been great today. It did like 4K, 60 frames per second. It was great. The footage was beautiful. You need that capture point for adverts, bright colours. Just look at Mr. Beast thumbnails on YouTube. He gets you before. Yeah, that's true. Tom is amazing. Not just a fabricator, but having a large window round and successful cleaning business, knows what you want and need. Yeah. If you can buy from someone that's actively in the industry or has been, and they actually know what they're doing and what they need. I know it's a video, but can use same for adverts. You're talking about Mr. Beast? Yeah. Hi guys, I'm just starting out with exterior cleaning. Besides using the Moser device to measure the square meter of an area, is there another way to measure it without the device? A few people have got like free apps where they use the camera and stuff. I don't know how accurate they are. I'm not sure. I can't imagine they're as accurate as the Moser personally, but or the good old tape measure. Google Earth. If you go on Google Earth, there's a, let's do Redditch. If you find a property and you've not got a very good view of the drive, for example, look at this drive here. So that's not a particularly difficult one. But you can also go on to this little button here, which is historical data, and you can go back through the images. Some of the images are terrible. Like you might find that the latest image is terrible. It's got bad shadows on it or too much foliage, and it's like it's not looking good. So you can just go back through the last couple of years worth of satellite images and just find a good one. Generally 2017 is always the best. There we go. It's one of the best ones, definitely. And then you can just go on to the measuring tool. I think it had a little bit down the side there, and then just get a rough measurement. And ideally do this before you go and visit the property, just so you've got an idea in your head. So 56 square meters. If it's block paving, I might times it by 4.5, about 250 quid for that one. Did it have that bit down the side? I can't remember. And then just check it with Google Street View as well. Always good when you're on Google Street View to just check where the nearest drain is, because this is coming down towards the road. You're going to need to clean or at least rinse this path as well. And then you're going to need to rinse everything leading up to that drain down there. So all your dirty water is going to go down into the road, and it's going to end up here. So you just need to account for that when you're doing the quote, because sometimes, depending on where the drainage point is, sometimes you can spend more time cleaning the road than you do actually cleaning the driveway. For example, this one, if we're looking at this one and we're washing down towards the road, I mean the nearest drain, there might be one under that car, but you won't know unless you go and visit in person. Where's the nearest drain? It's all the way down here. So unless you've got a good way of stopping all that dirty water and sludge going down the road, you could be in a bit of trouble with this one. Or you can do what a lot of people do and just don't bother, just leave it and, you know, piss off all the neighbours and make a bad impression. Vital, if you're free tomorrow, Moser are in Warwickshire doing a demo day, so you should come and have a go. So it's moser.co.uk. I'm going to be there as well, just showing people how to use it. The poly sweep, Jake, you reckon when cleaning next it will be a pain to wash out and we'll be hit and miss removing it? Or is it not that strong? I've washed a drive that had poly sweep on it that I did about a year ago, and it didn't come out the joints. There was a couple of holes where it had sunk, or where I think the ants had like destroyed it. But I was pressure washing it, and you only have to just give it like a very light turbo, chemical treatment, and you just top up the little bits that need topping up. And because I'm using so much of it, I've always got like an open bag in the shed. You just brush a little bit into the joints and just water it again, and it's like good as new. I thought the same, like you install the Pro joint and then 6 months later it's all crumbling, and next time you come to pressure wash it, it's going to be an absolute nightmare to pressure wash, and it's going to be, some of it's going to be sticking in the joints and some of it's going to be falling out of the joints, and it's not the case at all. It wasn't in my experience anyway. I'm leaving them with my details in mind. That would take the pressure off the customer, but now I realise I have no way of reaching out to them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and if you can just get some kind of commitment from them. You can even, like, I know we spoke about it before on the stream, like if you're already offering a service like window cleaning or like gutter clearing or interior cleaning, you can say, look, I'm going to be investing in a gutter vacuum in 6 months time. Can I get you booked in? Or maybe less than that, maybe like I'm going to get a pressure washer next month. Can I give you a quote for your driveway and get you booked in? I haven't got it yet, but I'll have it in about a month and I'll be able to do your drive then. And then you might have 10 to 15 customers already booked in the calendar, lined up before you've even bought the equipment. And so you know that investment's going to make sense for you. So it's good to sort of drum up interest ahead of time. And a lot of people wouldn't do that because they think, oh, the customer's going to think I'm brand new and they're not going to bother. They're going to get someone else to do it. And it's like, no, they don't. Actually, if you're just honest with them and say, look, I'm trying to expand and diversify, you generally find quite a lot of them will support you. Would you consider using a water-fed pole with a small pressure washer for cleaning fascias and soffits? Yes. Yeah, again, Squeaky Clean Dave on YouTube, he's used pressure washers on gutters, fascias, soffits. I've done it with my power pole, low pressure, 40-degree fan jet, or even a 65, and just get rid of the majority of it before we go in with the water-fed pole. You still need to scrub, in my experience. You still need to put something on it and scrub it with the brush. But it does... The water-fed pole and the pressure washer does get in all those little brackets nicely, so you don't have to spend as long scrubbing all the brackets. So it's a lot of setup and breakdown when you add the pressure washer in to something that's like a fairly simple job. Water-fed pole, brush it, rinse it, to then having to set up the pressure washer as well, and your power pole or your extendable lance or whatever it is. It's a lot of setup and breakdown for quite a low ticket job, so you just got to consider whether that added time is worth it for something that's potentially like less than 150 quid. I don't know how much people are charging for their fascia and soffit washes, but I'm at around about £45 a side, so sometimes it just don't make sense to get the pressure washer out. I don't know how to put my details on the map. Then you can just edit it. Just click on the pin and edit it. Or, let me see. Members map. Add marker. Yeah, it's this little button here. Add marker. Click. And then you can type in your name and stuff. You can also like link your Google account. I can't remember how to do it, but you can link your Google account. Anyone in a 50-mile radius of me, let me know so I can put a restraining order. £40 to mow the lawn, then 125 quid to pressure wash it. Yeah. Get your before and after pictures before you tell them. Before you tell them anything. Jake, this is every week. I'm not going slow on purpose. It's a catchphrase. I just I like to do a little deep dive on some of these questions. So I think some people get value from it rather than just trying to answer them as quick as I can and get to the next person. But again, like, I like to hit every message as well. So I know when someone types something, the last thing they want is for me to just skip past it and answer the next question. Because this is the whole point of the live stream, is that I try and answer as many questions as I can, so that I'm not doing it throughout the week in the DMs and stuff. I sort of point people towards the live stream, and this is where I can try and sort of give back a little bit. Customer said I need to go and see it first. Anyone see the quote I got rejected for today in the quotes section? Quotes. Yes, I did see that. The big driveway and patio. 300 square meters. Went in at 1200. They said it was too expensive. Oh, let's not put their address on. Try and cut the address out, mate, next time you post pictures like that, just in case you don't want to be sharing your customers' information and stuff. How do I get access to the Discord? It's a paid community, so if you join the YouTube, if you join as a member, you'll be able to get access as a circle member or above. So if you go on here on the main channel page and then click on this link here, I'll put it in the chat as well. If you're on iPhone, you might not see the little join button, but sometimes you'll see a join button. And yeah, I'll put it in the chat for you. There you go. Don't tell Cedars he's just bought 15 million leaflets. My recommendation is to have multiple call to action buttons throughout the website. Yeah, that's what I've done actually on mine after getting some advice from a lot of people on the stream. Is not only have the call to action, you know, at the top of the page, but after every service here, gutter clearing, more info, and then get in touch. So there's always these, oh damn it, there's always these buttons wherever you look, so that the customer's not having to navigate around the page to try and get in touch with you. And it just sort of jogs their memory of like, okay, yeah, let's just do it. So they can fill in the form, or I've also got a contact us page as well. And this one links to a Google form for people. And so for me, this is just sorting out the people that are actually serious, because I get a lot of inquiries, especially messages. Get a lot of people asking for a rough price. And I tell people, like, I don't do rough prices. I don't want to do the whole back and forth of what's your availability, when can you come out and quote, can I take your address please, what area you need, what service are you after. Like, instead of doing that to every single message, I just send them a link with like a pre-written message saying, hi, we get lots of messages, please fill out the contact form. And then I've got all their details, got their name, their address, their postcode, their phone number, their email address, and they can attach pictures to it as well. That's just a Google form. It's really, really effective. H&N, welcome. I use the app Camterplan Point phone to the ground, click on the screen. Works very well. Yep, there you go. What's the average turnover pressure washing company working with 2 people in a full setup? It's hard to say, mate. It depends on how well you're marketing your stuff. I think my turnover is not a good measure of the turnover of an average 2-man pressure washing team, because I do a lot of stuff on YouTube. I do sponsored stuff. I get inquiries from here, there, and everywhere from all my social media and stuff. So I'm doing a lot of stuff that other people wouldn't get access to ordinarily if they weren't doing as much as I am on YouTube and TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So I couldn't say. That's where you benefit from a flat surface cleaner on the driveways, post poly sweep on a return maintenance visit. Very good idea. Yeah. Timestamp 21:46 Thursday. What's the best conversion kit for pressure washing roofs? I've got an SLX pole. Well, again, not sponsored. I mean, I've got a discount code. This isn't sponsored, but CleanLink do conversion kits. I think they sell just the conversion kits. I'm pretty sure they do. Have a look on there. Tap on full flow and the water fed pole is all you need. I did my first job 8 weeks ago. It was 223 meters squared using a free petrol pressure washer from a neighbor. It's 9 liters per minute. I stripped it, rebuilt it. That job took me 12 hours. So underprepared for it. Near my goal of 21 liters per minute. Tintins. 223 meters squared with a 9 litre per minute machine, and it only took you 12 hours. I think that's really good. First of all, crazy that you'd take on a job that big with such a small machine. But I think 12 hours is like amazing for a job that big, personally. Well done. My pin is on the map. I have to log in on PC to see if my details are on it. No worries. I would hope a single guy could do 50 to 70k in a year with a reasonable amount of time around work also. Are we talking net? £2,500 to £3,000 plus VAT a week if you're busy enough. For 2 people, I don't know. That's a good week, mate. Plus VAT. That's a very good week. That's some big jobs, that is. I mean, if you're doing maybe 3 driveways a day, average size, yeah, £600 a day times 5. Yeah, £3,000, I suppose. That's if you're busy. That's 3 like decent sized driveways a day, which I think is manageable for 2 people if you're absolutely smashing it. Long day. But that's 5 days a week. That's not including the days when you're coming back and resanding and stuff. Like, I don't know, that's steep, that is. Average £500 plus VAT a week, a day. Average £500 plus VAT a day. Yeah. For 2 people, if you're good at marketing and you've got the leads coming in, that's very achievable, especially in the summer. Although in the winter, unless you're doing lots of roof cleans, your ticket price is going to be much lower for things like gutter clearing, basically your soffit cleaning, you're going to need to do like 5 gutter cleans a day, maybe 4 or 5 gutter cleans a day to be achieving that sort of money. Yeah, I'd be happy with £600 a week. I mean, Lewis, you say that, mate. After things like van insurance, taking 20% off of that for your tax and national insurance, your fuel, you know, I think I'm putting upwards of £50 a week, putting upwards of £50 a week in the van in just fuel, and then probably £20 to £30 every couple of days in the pressure washers. We don't travel far. A lot of people are traveling all over the country for these jobs, but we're only doing local because we get a decent amount of work local, to be fair. And then all your materials, maintenance for your machines, you know, a new broom every couple of months. Stuff breaks all the time. So I mean, you say you'd be happy at £600 a week. Once everything's paid for, you'll be left with fairly little, I would suggest. Coming from being employed, £600 a week sounds amazing, but that's not take home. So if you're employed by a third party, that third party absorbs all the additional costs of employing you. You just get the paycheck at the end of the month. But to employ you, this business has all these other costs revolved around keeping you, making sure you've got work, insurance, taxes, licenses, all that extra stuff, just to have you work for them that you don't see. And when you're self-employed, there's like a lot of extra stuff. You know what I mean? Not to put you off, because it's very achievable to do way more than that. You can do. Last week we did a £1,300 job, which is like a good day, and that was like, some people at that point, they might just take their foot off the gas and think, oh, I've earned my money for the week. But then you realise you've got another 4 days where you can be doing like 1 or 2 big driveways a day, and then you've got some gutter clearing jobs in there as well. You've got some sealing jobs, you've got a repointing job that's going to be another couple of grand next week. And it's like, when you get busy and you start being more multidisciplinary, and you can start offering different services to those regular customers where they know you do a good job, but they didn't know you did gutters, or they didn't know you did a roof clean. And so you've done their drive, and you say, oh, by the way, if you need your windows cleaning, or if you need your gutters clearing, we do that as well, so just let me know. And they're like, oh, I didn't know you did gutters. Yeah, can you give me a quote for that, please? It's like, no hard sell. It's just, you've done a good job for me, so yeah, of course you can do that other thing that I needed doing as well. And that, it just snowballs. It really does just snowball. I'm not suggesting it's easy. It's not easy at all, but it's once you start building traction and momentum, it compounds. You should read The Compound Effect. There's a book called The Compound Effect, and it explains it beautifully. It's this book. I am from Jamaica. We don't have pressure washing on the island, so I'm learning to be a pressure washing business. That's amazing. Is there a demand for pressure washing? Is there a reason why no one else has done it? New broom every couple of months. What broom are you using? Every couple of weeks? No, mate, you've got to use them until they're barely hanging on for dear life. I don't chuck anything away until it's broken. Looking for flights for Jamaica. I have some Smart Seal Grey, which was sealed coming off after 1 year. Does it have warranty with Smart Seal? Any experience with them? John, no idea, mate. No, not sure. Sorry. You soon get used to the money. Yeah, I mean, it's good to like look back every now and again and think, I could still be scanning food in Aldi at the minute, doing 50 hours a week, making less than half of what I'm making this week. You know what I mean? It's just to see where, to look back and just like realize how far you've come is very, very cool. It's always good to be just appreciative when things are going well. When things are going not so well, it's different, isn't it? One person with two, well, you can be doing £750 a day. I mean, yes, Steve, you can. It's all well and good doing the work, but what about if you don't have any work coming in? I think that's the main that's the main issue I think a lot of people are having, is they think they're getting into the business of pressure washing, but actually you're getting into the business of sales and marketing first. I think that's an Alex Hormozy quote. You're a salesman and a marketer first, and then you're a hands-on pressure washer. Can you pressure wash damaged tarmac? I probably wouldn't advise it. There's a lot of products out there that would help fill in some of the, when you get weeds coming up around the edges, around the border of the tarmac, you can get things like cold lay tarmac to fill in the gaps. But if the aggregate is damaged and it's lost its bitumen coating, you've got to weigh up whether you're better putting that money into replacing the driveway or getting another year or two out of it by applying like a tinted sealer, which can help, but it's not suitable for all tarmac, so you just got to be careful. It all depends how much you're working. Also, I would say on the tools, your message is gone. I would say on the tools, out the house, in the van type thing, I don't exceed 20 hours a week. Yeah, you've also got to take into account, I mean, a lot of people think, oh, I'm making £40 an hour, or I'm making £60 an hour on this job. And it's like, yeah, you are on this job, but what about the travel, the time it took you to get here and then get back and do all your admin at the end of the day and then hand out the leaflets and stuff? Like, what about all that time that you're not accounting for? Because you might be making £60 an hour for this short period of time, but it's an 8-9 hour day. What about the bits on the beginning and on the end? You know what I mean? I do 8 till 6 and Saturday mornings when needed. 5 to 8 gutters a day in the winter. There you go, Steve's smashing it. I've been put off by roof cleaning 3 years ago because a friend of mine, owner of a big local roofing company, told me that it creates more damage. Yeah, roofers like to say that. You'll find that's quite a common occurrence with a lot of roofers. They don't like you cleaning the roofs because it means that they'll just replace it for the customer instead of just, you're taking work off them basically. Yeah, the sky is the limit for me. I'll take what I can get for now. I've got a good machine in my opinion. What's everyone's opinions on the VTUF? I would say personally, from what I've seen, VTUF machines are very competent. They're adequate. They're competitive with a lot of the other commercial style machines that are out there. But as soon as they put that VTough sticker on it, it adds like 30-40% to the price, and I don't know why. Work as much as you can in the summer and push the hours each day. Take 4 months off in the winter, service the kit, charge the batteries, and prepare for the busy season again. Yes, you could do that. I don't personally do that, but you could. You could. Not in your first year, you couldn't. Maybe not in the second year. If you're an established business, you could do that. I don't think you could do that if you've got staff. So I couldn't take my foot off the gas in the winter because I'd need to keep Jakey busy, and so it just wouldn't work. If you're on your own and you're quite well established, I'd say. So this is a lot of the advice in the Facebook posts, in the Facebook forums, that people are saying, like, what do you do over winter? And everyone says, oh, you know, smash it out in the summer and I'll put my feet up in the winter. I have all my holidays in the winter. And then so these people get into like a false sense of, oh, okay, yeah, I can just smash it out in the summer and take all winter off, I'll be fine. And actually, they don't get as many customers as they expected in the summer because they're a brand new business and no one knows about them. And then they're actually scratching around for work in the winter, just trying to keep themselves afloat. I think it's false economy. I think I messed up. I got a Karcher K7 thinking I could start a business doing that. Did I mess up? Yes, I think you did mess up, mate, if I'm totally honest with you. Any petrol pressure washer is going to be better than a Karcher K7. Anything. You can pick up... This is the one I started with. This is the one I started with. 265 quid, including VAT. It's 9 litres per minute, so you can just plug straight into the customer's tap. You don't need like buffer tanks or anything like that. Nice and small. Grab yourself a turbo nozzle and you can start cleaning driveways and stuff. Not suitable for commercial use, so it will break eventually. Not designed to be ran for hours on end. But a good little startup machine, I think. It served me well anyway. This is going to be infinitely better than a Karcher K7. Thanks for your response. Love your videos. Oh, no worries, John. I can't remember what I said to you, but I'm glad it was. Hope it was useful. So you should watch a few of my videos. I've done a lot of tarmac sealing over the last couple of months, so you should. I'm sure you'll find something on there that's quite useful. These are all year 4 numbers until you get to invoice 200. For purpose of example, you'll be looking for work, regulars, recommendations, and a good consistent reputation will pay dividends. Yeah, so yeah, when you say when people say like, can you make 2.5-3 grand a week? Yes, but not in your first year. You just won't do it in your first year unless you're incredibly sharp and business savvy and you're looking to expand very quickly into this brand new industry that you've never been in before, and maybe you've got an employee or two to help you and you're just absolutely smashing the marketing, you're a really good salesman, maybe. But for the average person like me, you're not going to be doing 2.5-3 grand a week in your first year at any point whatsoever. You might be really lucky and get a big commercial job, but you'll be under-equipped, under-prepared, you'll have under-quoted it, and it'll take you way longer than you expect. So you can call it luck, or you can call it like bad fortune. What's the best telescopic pressure washing lamps for roof cleaning? Nothing too expensive. WAMs. I know I've been in your position where I'm like, I don't want to pay a lot of money. I just want something cheap that works. And you'll very, very quickly find in this industry, especially in roof cleaning, you really get what you pay for. And you might think, oh, I can take a little shortcut, but I don't need that. I don't need carbon fibre. I can get away with aluminium or whatever. Get the absolute best you can afford, because I promise you, when you're up there and you're cleaning a roof and you cheap out on some equipment, you'll want to kill yourself. You'll absolutely want to kill yourself, and you'll wish you hadn't bothered. The one that I got was a Gutter Vacuum Systems Pro 35 power pole. I think it was 760 quid at the time. So it's this one. Yeah, it's still 760 quid, including VAT. Comes with the conversion kit, the high pressure pole, carbon fibre. It's a really good pole. I'm happy with it. Mine's still going strong after, I think I've had it a year, 2 years now. Can't remember. I haven't done anything with it. It's still just, I clean it every now and again, get all the grit out from in between the clamps and stuff, and it's great. You can also have a look on CleanLink. CleanLink have got a bunch of roof cleaning poles with the conversion kits on them as well. Don't get the cheapest one you can find, because you'll regret it. I'm a tight ass, and I cut so many corners when I first started, and none of it paid off. There's a reason that I don't know, you can look at it from multiple different angles, but there's reasons why there's cheap stuff and expensive stuff, and everyone recommends the expensive stuff. It's not because it's expensive, and it's not because they've got brand loyalty or whatever. It's because the expensive stuff is just better in every way. Look for Equip to Clean. I would avoid Equip to Clean personally, in my experience. I started in September 24, and it's hard, but you push and push and keep pushing. Plenty to keep you busy and bills paid. Yes, there's so much money out there. There's plenty of money out there. It's just, can you get it? Can you get your hands on it? Can you land the work? People say like there's no work out there. The industry's saturated and everyone's stealing my work. There's 3 lads in my area that have just started up. It's like, you're not doing enough. Stop complaining that everyone else is stealing your work, and actually like do something different. There's a lot of people on Facebook that say, my name comes up all the time saying, if it weren't for people like Smelt, there wouldn't be so many people starting up, and roof cleaning's gone down the pan because everyone's quoting too cheap because of people like Smelt on YouTube and stuff. It's like, no, if I'm doing it, if I can do it, I'm not special, right? If I can do it, anyone can do it. You've just got to change with the times. Like, if you're not putting out social media posts every day, you're not doing enough. If you're still complaining that the phone's not ringing, but you're not putting a good social media post out every single day, you're not doing enough. It might have been okay putting a few leaflets out and relying on word of mouth 10 years ago, but that's not how things work anymore. You've got to change with the times. Stop complaining. Jake, what's happened? Sorry, I missed it. Jake, what's happened to your Monday videos, buddy? Used to look forward to them every week. I'm trying to make better higher quality videos that are kind of special videos, rather than just putting out something every week for the sake of putting some content out like I used to before. I used to just film, like, okay, we'll just film this today because I've got nothing to post on Monday. It's like, that's not the way I want to do it anymore. I want to film like really interesting jobs and it's been paying off. My last like 3 out of my last 4 videos I posted, 3 of them have got over 100,000 views, and that doesn't happen to me. A month ago I was getting 5 to 10,000 views if I was lucky, but I'm just focusing on trying to put out like a really good, interesting video, and so I'm sacrificing my trying to post something every week for just trying to post something a little bit better. And if it's every couple of weeks or if it's every month, then that's what it is. I appreciate you waiting for the videos though. That's very cool of you. Like looking forward to them. That's cool to know that people look forward to the videos. Solutions, no serious help here. He's only having a joke, mate. No, not an extendable lance for 80 to 100 pound. That's just like a normal lance. That Parker branded pressure washer may be handier for the washdowns of gutters. Just connect your telescopic lengths and wash. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. 4 months off to do what exactly? Yeah, I couldn't sit around and put my feet up for 4 months. No way. I mean, it might be a good opportunity to prepare for the season ahead and like make sure everything, like your website's perfect, make sure your systems are all in place and stuff. And I'd love 4 months off, to be honest, just to actually like point the business in a very specific direction, because at the moment I'm just fighting fires and just in a bit of a whirlwind of being busy, and I'm not actually like the business isn't really moving forward. Financially it's like everything's fine, it's not all about money though. I want like clear goals and stuff. I want to be working towards those goals rather than just floating about being at the mercy of whatever inquiries come in, you know what I mean? I really appreciate the advice, love the videos, definitely be joining the Discord, tuning in every week. Oh mate, thanks Lewis, very cool of you to say. Could you put a solution into the tank and spray chemical? You could draw straight from a chemical barrel, or you could pre-mix your hypo, for example, at 1 to 5 and then draw from that tank. But you don't want to be drawing chemicals through your pump. You really don't. They're not designed for that. There's like downstream injectors that come off the side of your pump and stuff, especially on the little ones. But it's like, you don't want to be running caustic chemicals through them. You don't want to be running harsh alkalis or acids or whatever. It's going to ruin your pump, and I just wouldn't even risk it. There's the money that you'd spend on your equipment to only have it ruined by doing that. I just wouldn't bother. I'd have some external way of applying the chemicals, like a pump sprayer or an X-Jet that doesn't run the chemical through the hose. It comes out the barrel through the trigger, you know what I mean? Tuning in every week, I'll ditch the Crocs from now on. Oh, nice one, mate. I was believing leaflets in, delivering leaflets in -7, and I post average 15 times a week on Facebook. Some days I really can't be bothered after work or during the work, but you just have to. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. Consistency is the thing that built my business. The one thing I've ever committed to was being consistent with pressure washing. I thought to myself, I'm going to start doing this one thing, and I'm going to do it for a year and just see where it takes me. And it's the only thing that's ever worked for me. Because instead of just half-arsing something and trying it for 2 weeks and then getting bored and then starting it up again and then putting a bit more effort in next month, it's like, no, just do this one thing, do something that contributes towards this business every single day. Doesn't matter what it is, just something that contributes towards your goal every day. And consistency is key, man. I said to myself when I was like, every job in the early days, like every job, I don't post every job now, because it's like some of them, sometimes the before and after pictures just aren't that impressive, and it's just not something I'm super proud of. But the customers over the moon, they really wanted it done, and they're buzzing, but it's like, yeah, I'm not really going to post that. But I was like, I am like Cedars, and it's like I force myself just to post it. I force myself to take before and after pictures of every job, and if I forget to take the before pictures, or I forget one of the angles on the after photos, I really kick myself about it. And then most of the time at the end of every day, I'm posting the before and after picture, just to keep my page active and let people know what I'm up to. Now I'm probably posting a little bit less now on Facebook and Instagram, because I'm doing stories every day. So I'm posting, 3 to sometimes 10 videos a day on my story, and that they get like 1,000 views per video, which is a lot for a story. I think that's really good. And so I'm sort of substituting. Okay, instead of posting average stuff every day, I'm going to just keep people sort of satisfied with the stories every day, so everyone knows what I'm up to, and then just post the good before and after pictures every couple of days, and then sprinkle in some reels and videos here and there as well. It just keeps the page active. Make sure your customers are sort of reminded that you still exist. And they'll see you doing something. It's like, oh, I didn't know he cleaned roofs. And then they'll send you a message. It's so effective. If you're not doing social media, you are missing a huge amount of opportunities. What are your goals? My number one goal has been to launch this app, to run a successful launch of this app. I had 3 goals this year. One of them was the app. The other one was an online store, which I don't want to do at the moment. So I've put that one on the shelf for a while. That would be a cool thing to do maybe in the winter when I'm less busy. But I've realised, when you start doing something and you think, oh my God, this is so much more work than I expected it to be. Looking at how quickly CleanLink has sort of expanded his shop and the unit, and how the website's growing, and now he's doing pressure washers and all this stuff. It's like very, very impressive. And I don't know how he's done it so quickly. But running an online store is just crazy. I didn't understand how much work was involved, and so I'm shelving that goal for the minute. So it's the app, is making sure people are getting good value from the app, and to keep improving it, have a solid launch, get loads of feedback, and just provide a good product. My other goal is to keep growing the YouTube and focus less on cramming so many jobs in every week and just sort of rushing around, getting from one job to the other, trying to catch up and stressing out so much, and actually dialing the calendar back a little bit to give me more time to focus on filming and editing some really, really good content for YouTube, because that's where my passion is. My passion is really interesting jobs that I can film and post on YouTube. And then I've got another goal. I've got 3 goals. The other one is something I want to keep to myself. Quality of your videos have always been quality power. Watching them gave me all the inspiration I needed. Look forward to the next. Thank you, mate. Very kind of you. I don't want to breeze past that comment and just sort of wave it off and say thank you, but like, there's not really a lot else you can say, is there? Like, I'm really glad that you find them useful and inspiring. Jake, can you restrict edit rights on the map? Someone's plonked me in the North Sea. It seems anyone can edit anyone. I don't know how to do that. I can look at it. I don't know why someone's done that to you. I'm very sorry. Sorry, bud, meant UPVC cleaner, not caustic solution. Not chemical from the bottom of the Parker branded. I mean, even like a UPVC cleaner, even if it's not caustic, it's still gonna have a negative effect on your pump. It could like, it could cause build-up. It could cause like gloopy build-up in the corner of the seal. Like, there's all sorts that it could do that you just don't. I really wouldn't run it through your pump. Just my opinion. Get a pump sprayer or a backpack, like a water-fed backpack with like a 12-volt pump or something, and just run your chemicals through that. Wash it out after every use, and you'll get like up to 2 years use out of like a normal non-chemical backpack, especially if you're not using caustic stuff. 120 quid. Would you price different if not driving a van? I'm starting in an old Ford that could fit equipment, but I don't have a van. Sean, that's a very good question. Are you pricing based on the equipment that you've got, or are you pricing based on the level of service that you're offering? And it goes back to the little pyramid. It's like, do you want it done fast? Do you want it done cheap? Or do you want it done well? And like, you can only pick 3 of them. And none of those things, other than fast, really, none of those things relate to the equipment that you're using. Yes, you could get it done quicker if you've got better equipment, and maybe you've got a van, so you've got more storage for, maybe you've got your gutter vacuum in the van, and your turnaround time's much quicker. But like, you're not pricing the job based on the equipment that you've got. You could look at it from another perspective, which someone, I think Darren mentioned to me a while, Darren from PWS. Was it Darren or was it someone else? He said to me about your new van. He said, have you accounted for that in your pricing? Like, in you making sure that your customers are paying for your van? I was like, what do you mean? He went, well, regardless of whether you get, say you get a van on finance now, and it's what, I don't know what finance is, £250 a month. Presumably, you'd increase your prices slightly, wouldn't you? Just to account for that extra outgoing every month. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. He's like, okay, but say you've saved up £7,000 and you've bought your van outright and you own it in full. Why wouldn't you increase your prices then as well to pay for that van that you've just bought? And it's like, ooh, I didn't think about that. You look at like a big one-off purchase like that and think, I've done that, I've paid for that, and it doesn't come into the equation going forward when you're pricing jobs, because you think that's in the past, I've sorted that. But you could argue that all this equipment that you're buying and all this stuff that you're building up over the years, really, you should have accounted for that in your pricing. And so you could look at it from 2 sides of the spectrum. I think if you're being, the second option is to account for all that equipment in your pricing and make sure your customers are, you know, paying for that, and it's not just coming out of your personal fund. But I think early on, are you pricing based on the service you're offering, or are you pricing based on the equipment that you've got? And I think personally you should be pricing based on the service that you're offering. And then later on down the line, when it comes to buying the big expensive stuff like a big van and maybe like a boiler, hot water pressure washer, all the roof cleaning kit, scaffold tower, all that sort of stuff, then it's like, okay, I'm going to turn my prices up ever so slightly because I need to start paying all this equipment off. Even if it's bought and paid for, I need to, you know, your business has got to make money. If you're not accounting for all those purchases, you're going to go under very quickly. There's a reason why the 100 quid any drive man, you see him, you know, on the first year, or your customer calls you and says, the guy did it for 100 quid last time, like you're way off there with your price. And it's like, why didn't you call him back? Oh, he's not, he's doing something else now, I couldn't get hold of him. It's like, yeah, because he went out of business because he was charging too little. Do you ever have people refuse to pay? I've not had one person refuse to pay. I had a bit of an issue with a care home where they couldn't release the funds because they didn't have access to the funds at the time, and it's like that went on for about 3 months. That's the closest I've come to not being paid. Long time fan, stream lurker, evening mate. Wash works. Thank you so much. Welcome. Any other Irish cleaners in the chat by any chance? There's definitely a few Irish lads in the Discord. Have you had any progress with the app? Lots of progress with the app. It's the app's going really well, mate. Thank you. If anyone hasn't seen my app is now on the Google Play Store. It's called Upsell, and it's a quoting tool. I've got my price list here. My tarmac, £3 per square metre. These aren't my actual prices, by the way. This is just all for examples. My roof cleaning, minimum charge, 700 quid. My pressure washing, my resanding. I've got all my customers here. Charles Darwin, James Webb, Nikola Tesla, Alfred Nobel. We've got all the quotes. We've got all the different statuses. This person's paid. I'm going to offer a discount on the resanding, 50% off. Boom. Export that to PDF as an invoice. Boom. The app is coming along extremely well. You get a 7-day free trial. It's on the Google Play Store. I'd be very grateful if you just give it a try and give me some feedback. Get yourself your price list sorted out. You can put anything in here. You can put your travel. You can put your tower hire. You can do your gutter clearing. You could do gutter fascia soffit wash. You know, 50 quid per side with a minimum charge of, I don't know, 100 quid. Yeah, have a look, see what you think. Plus, guys, remember there is an income to be had on Facebook, etc. May not be massive, but can cover insurance of the van, etc. Sweating like the last cucumber. Okay. Okay. I am sweating. I don't know whether you're talking about yourself or me. How far do you go for work? Would you recommend others if too far? Yes, do that all the time. Yeah. I go all over the country really, but only for the really interesting big jobs. We went to Kings Lynn for like a big resin clean recently. That was like 3 hours. 3 hours there, 3 hours back. But the customer wanted to pay for us to be there. They didn't want anyone else. They read the reviews, they watched the videos, which is very cool. They wanted us. It wasn't a particularly difficult job. Lots of natural slate around the property as well. I think it was about 400 square meters all in. Can't remember. Maybe a bit less. Would you offer a small referral payment to window cleaners to recommend you when you are starting out? Obviously, completed jobs. You could do, although you'd need to build up some sort of rapport with that window cleaner and give them some sort of incentive to. I know you say like referral payment. You could approach a window cleaner and say, "Oh, I'll give you 20 quid for each job that you get me." Or you probably couldn't do it on a set price. You'd have to do it on a percentage. And how do they trust that you'll, unless you're really close with them? You say, I've quoted that job 500 quid. I'll give you 20%. But then what if you've actually quoted the job for 700 quid? They wouldn't know unless they spoke to the customer. It's a weird trust thing with all these different. There's a lot of ego and a lot of underhandedness in all these different trades, and you don't know whether someone's your friend or whether they're your enemy and they're just trying to keep you close. I've had a lot of that. I've had a lot of experience with that, where people are just trying to keep me within arm's length, and they're being nice to me to my face, but you can sort of guarantee they're yeah, I don't know. Is that your app? Yes, it is. Have you launched the app? Yes. What's the app called? It's called Upsell, and it's on the Google Play Store. Only on Android at the moment. A lot of people are complaining it's warm. Is it any good for window cleaning? Yes. I mean, any business that offers multiple services. So if you've got windows, maybe you've got different sized windows. You've got your small ones, you've got your big double panes, you've got your skylights, maybe some solar panels. You put your prices in for each one, and then you just go around the once that's set up, you just go around the property, count all the windows, add there's 10 of them, 5 of those. They've got 8 solar panels as well. Right, there's your quote. Super quick and simple and easy. When we having a coffee morning at PWS? I still need to talk to Darren about it. I've not got around to chatting to him yet. It's called Sausage Fest. Yeah, have you not? Cedars, you might not have actually heard about it, to be honest. We hosted an event there called Sausage Fest last year, and it was quite, I couldn't believe the turnout, to be fair. There was a lot of people from the Discord and from the YouTube and stuff. So I bring some butter. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to head off. I'm sweating. We've been doing this for 3 hours, and I'm ready to get into bed and have an early start tomorrow morning with Moja. Thank you so much for watching. If there is work I can't do, I pass it over to Sid from Partridge. He's originally from Gloucester. There you go. No referral charge, just a beer. No worries, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate all the kind words and the donations and the subscriptions. Like, you guys are so generous. I'm very privileged to be in this position where I can just go live every Monday and people actually watch about exterior cleaning and pressure washing and stuff. And you guys watch what we're doing, but you find it valuable, and I enjoy it. That's all that matters, really, innit? Have a great week. Do something you haven't done before this week. Try something new, whether it's with your marketing or with your social media or a different technique. Try something that puts you ever so slightly out your comfort zone so you can see if it works. See you later.